I appreciate all the support I had on the previous video with the quarterbacks and following their careers. It went really well, and I was pretty happy with the results. We got to see some really fun players. Let's see if we can get similar results at running back this time around, as, you know, just like quarterbacks and all the other positions, a bunch of different archetypes are in this game now, and we'll see how that formulates into things. Contact seeker, your first running back on the board from Alabama. Eric Baca is going to be staying in state, University of Alabama, and you know how these videos work. I don't really need to explain them at this point, I feel like, but I wanted to do the pacing of these videos a little bit differently for the non-QB positions, because it's a lot less likely that the players that we're going to be spectating touch the football. Quarterback obviously always has the football in his hands every play, so I'm going to be cutting out some of the defense and really just trying to key in on the moments where these running backs actually do touch the football. And obviously, you know, playoffs, big games and that, we'll still get the full picture of how the game plays out, but I really want to see these running backs touch the football, because there's a lot of times where we'll hop into a game and they like never touch the football. They're down by 10, they got to throw the football a lot, whatever the case is, but we're going to try to key in on that. So the second running back was a bust, but the third running back, Jaron Prather, is a gem and a north-south receiver who looks pretty interesting. Trent Gary, the bust running back, really not all that bad, and then Eric Baca is going to end up transferring, so we'll see how the transfer portal ends up playing a factor. It was very heavy in the quarterback video, and for the running backs, we'll see how it's similarly heavily factored in. So Baca goes to Florida, Prather at LSU, and then Trent Gary for a bust. I mean, not really all that bad. You know, if you see a bust, you're hoping it's not normal development, but he's got impact. He's a 77 overall. That's perfectly fine. And then we're on the board here, Jaron Prather, elite development, so from gem to elite with a lot of fun skill caps, having that receiving background to him as well. He can be a do-it-all type of player. Fourth running back on the board, David Milburn, is going to be a contact seeker. You guys can let me know what your favorite archetype of running back is in this game, what ones you typically go after, what ones you find the most success with. We're going to have a pretty good idea of what we feel is the most successful one for the high-end prospects after this, but first action of the video, East Carolina taking on Trent Gary and Ole Miss. They tie it up 16-16. Play action. Quarterback is Deuce Knight, as Knight is going to slide down, and he is going to get the first down. Third down and 5, we jump ahead, and Gary is in the block as Knight gets sacked in a loss. 3 men got in there, as now East Carolina takes the football back as second down and 1. The spin move is going to get him a first down into the 42-yard line. Third down and 8. Just like I said, hopping into more key situations for defense. A lot of third downs and showing the big plays rather than kind of dragging it on. You want to see these players in action? I do too. But ECU's got a wide open man. Check down gets them a whole bunch of yards. No defender was even within the 10-plus yards of him when he caught that football, but the defense will get a sack here. Third down and 24.5 to play, as he'll check it down underneath, and he does get by one defender, but just too long of a distance to try to travel to get that first down. The field goal is going to be good, so it will be a 3-point game. And we'll see if Gary can get the football. He picks up a nice block there and helps Knight deliver a strike down the middle. So nice blocking so far. And there we go, a handoff, but the swarming defense of ECU is going to force a punt, as he had to lose yards on that play. Now ECU in double coverage, picked off, as the defense will come up big. Ole Miss trying to get that bowl win. Here goes Gary, juke move, and Trent Gary gets the first down, as now from the 44-yard line, Knight got time, throwing it down the field. It is incomplete. Fourth down and 7. This time you got to go for it, as you're down to 2 timeouts at a minute 20 to go, and that pass is broken up. East Carolina's going to hold on for the victory, so only got to see one really nice carry from Gary, but it was a solid carry. He did not have a whole lot of touches in this game, which is odd considering, hey, he was efficient as heck this season. How about 6.8 yards per carry, 7 100-yard games? And these are games where he is averaging a whole bunch of yards per carry. Very efficient. Eric Baca at Florida, the number 2 running back, hits 10 touchdowns. And then Jaron Prather is going to transfer. Not only is he going to transfer, the number 1 running back in the nation is going to go down to Louisiana. David Milburn's going to go to Tennessee. Baca maxed out elusiveness on his caps, and he looks like he's going to be a real force to deal with once he gets that opportunity to get 200-plus carries. Trent Gary, though, man, he was awesome. For a bust, 6.8 yards a carry. And Jaron Prather, how about a massive jump up for him? And when you go to Louisiana, I appreciate going to Louisiana, going to a small school. and just jumping up like a crazy amount of overalls, and I guess he's going to farm the Sun Belt because I can't imagine there's going to be too many players better than him in that conference. Next running back, Gem on the board, another contact seeker, Roberto Cashman, 89 speed with a well-rounded set of skills for him. I always try to show you if these players do happen to make the playoffs or not. Unfortunately for Ole Miss, they lose the SEC title game, and that knocks them out. Louisiana, though, credit to them, all the way up at 16, because Jaron Prather goes and wins the Walker Award, best running back in the nation as a true sophomore. 13-0 Louisiana. I appreciate him just saying, I don't care about being at the big school, I just want to play and I want to farm, and he has done that successfully. I mean, that's betting on yourself and turning Louisiana into a competent program. He's going to lose yards on that play, but in their bowl game, it's 12-3 on San Diego State. I mean, a 6-6 San Diego State team, you're expected to come out here and win, but can you get that 14-0 season? Prather out of the backfield, breaks a tackle, and Jaron Prather, a dual threat out of the backfield as well. I'm really interested to see you go, say, 14-0, because you're going to tack on another 3 points to this lead. You're hoping you don't blow it to a 6-6 team, but you win the best running back award. You take a big leap. You are doing everything that you've needed to do at this school. Do you transfer back up to higher competition and then take your game to the next level, or do you just stay down here and say, well, I just won the best running back award, I think I can go ahead and do it again here at Louisiana and continue building this school? Because I mean, if you go 14-0 and you already got them ranked, you're going to be better next year, and maybe you're going to be ranked again, and you can try to sneak into the playoffs. As right now, it's just all Louisiana. Sack, fumble, and look at big number 77. He's just lumbering down the field. He's running out of gas, and he's going to get brought down at the 14. But hey, he gets back up, and he ran out of gas, but not enough to where he can't dance his way back to the sidelines. Prather on the carry. He gets 6 yards, and now 3rd down and 3. Slant route, caught, touchdown. And Louisiana pouring it on. They're going to come out here and win this game 22-3, as Prather did not have a crazy performance, just 56 yards on the ground, but for his season overall, how about 1,400 yards, 21 touchdowns, another 400 in the air, 2 more touchdowns, and a nice amount of big-time performances, a 200-yard game, 170-yard, and 3-touchdown game. And now we jump over to Ole Miss, just narrowly missing out on the playoffs. Trent Gary with a 1st-down carry. The duo of Gary and Deuce Knight is a dangerous one, as Deuce Knight jukes a man out of his shoes and gets to the 3-yard line. Both guys are nearing about 70 yards apiece, as Knight is just running around the pocket, throws it outside, caught at the 1-yard line, 4th down and goal, going for it, handoff, Gary, touchdown. And to run up the score a little bit more, I mean, that gives them a comfortable lead, 41-16 your final. Gary gets a touchdown in his bowl game, and he ends up with 71 yards and 2 scores, 5 total rushing touchdowns for this team. And again, really efficient, not quite the 6.8 yards a carry, but you increase the workload, he gets more yards, gets more touchdowns, and has a really nice season, and has another 6 100-yard performances on the year. So Trent Gary, he is no bust in my opinion, as you go ahead to Florida and BYU. This is Eric Baca, the starting running back for Florida, now transferring from Alabama, had 10 touchdowns last season as the number 2. Can he have a similar level of success finding the end zone now as a full-time starter, as it's 27-21? Florida down on the scoreboard, and they're on defense right now. Under 4 minutes to go, so BYU trying to look for that 2-score lead and make it so that Eric Baca and this offense can't really touch the football on the ground all that much, and they'll have to do it through the air. But Florida's defense not really able to do much right now, as the read option's going to get a broken tackle and a 1st down. 2-minute warning has hit, and Florida's out of timeouts. They're going to eventually get the stop, but close enough to try a 56-yard field goal for the 2-score lead. It is good, and Florida has to throw their way back into the game, and they can't do that. So not really getting to see Baca do all that much. He did have 14 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown, though, so a nice overall game from him in the season. His yards per carry went down by 1, but I mean, the carries went up a lot, over 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns, and, tack on 4 100-yard performances all early on in the season. Baca's going to actually declare. He could stay for another season, but he's going to go and try to be a mid-round draft pick. David Milburn didn't really do anything, and he's going to transfer. And transferring from Tennessee to Kennesaw State. already some interesting moves. So we've seen Louisiana, now Kennesaw State on the board via transfer portal. Trent Gary's looking pretty nice. It's looking like overall for him, he just has some athletic limitations. Jaron Prather, though, no limitations here. He is soaring past 90 overall. David Milburn, I'm not in love with his skill set. Already maxed out his quickness. His hands can't get that much better, neither can his power. So maybe Kennesaw State will have an opportunity to do what Prather did and farm in a smaller school, farm in a smaller conference. Roberto Cash, though, about elite development for him, and he looks like he can be incredible in a few years' time. Franklin Ricks, the next running back on the board, east-west playmaker. Nice speed, change of direction, juke move to him. And we move on to see playoff action for Ole Miss, who is the number 3 seed. And Jaron Prather takes his team to the playoffs. It goes back-to-back on best running back in the nation. Milburn does get 900 yards at Kennesaw State. Doesn't make a bowl game because he's at Kennesaw State. But Roberto Cash sees some action as a freshman. 59 carries, but 2 fumbles, so not great there. And Louisiana, how about what Prather has done for this school? You're losing 20-3 right now against Ohio State, but just for the Raging Cajuns to be sitting here in a playoff setting, and with Prather under his guide, basically, they have only lost 1 game in the last 2 years. So talk about a high-level player coming into a small school and completely flipping the narrative on them and changing them. I mean, that happens from time to time. You get one player that's just so special, he changes everything. And even though Louisiana, they cut it down to a 2-score game, they're heavily outmatched against Ohio State, but this could set them up for years to come to have better success, being a team that won double-digit games back-to-back seasons, ranked, bowl victory, playoff appearance, and a 2-time best running back award winner. That's a lot more of a successful career than if you were maybe to sit on the bench of an SEC's team and, you know, maybe get 1 to 2 years as a starter, as a maybe split backfield guy, and, you know, not really get all the credit because you're on a stacked team. So I like to see somebody like Jaron Prather do what he's done as Ohio State gets the football back. And maybe it's just too much, though, as Ohio State's just so talented, a lot more talented than this Louisiana team, as he goes right up the middle, makes a cut inside the 20-yard line, and with just over 3.5 to play, wide open man underneath, they're inside the 5. Ohio State ready to tack on another touchdown to make it a 3-score game. Sweep to the edge, and Ohio State punches it in. 27-6 is your score. I don't think anyone's shocked by the result right now. With under 2 minutes to go, we'll see if Louisiana can find the end zone and maybe make this a little bit closer. I don't know if a miracle is in the cards here, but we'll see what this team has for the last 2 minutes as they get another first down, back-to-back there. Now throw, slant route, got another one. Would have been nice to see if this game was close and Prather was able to have a bigger impact in the closing stages, but for this offense, they are going to get it all the way down to the red zone, play action, and Prather is in the block. He does hit one and springs the quarterback for a scramble for a touchdown. And even though it wasn't going to be enough, Prather still does have a nice game. Runs for 98 yards. And overall, I mean, how about just matching the total? 21 touchdowns, about adding another 5 extra in the air compared to last season. Another 6 100-yard games. Unfortunately for Trent Gary, though, we run into our first injury, knee cartilage tear. And that's going to be disappointing to see him miss out on the playoffs. Ole Miss gets stomped out. The only way he was going to be able to come back is if, like, maybe they made a national championship and he played through it. Definitely looks like he played through some injury struggles throughout the season. His average went down. He still had another 1,000-yard season, so 3 1,000-yard years for him. Prather's going to be going to the NFL. He's a 95 overall. No real surprise there. But interestingly enough, Gary does not get drafted after 3 1,000-yard seasons in the SEC. Prather, meanwhile, goes in the first round. Franklin Ricks, the next number 1 running back, he is headed to Boise State. That's really interesting because I think with Trent Gary, you could say his physical attributes weren't really crazy. He wasn't all that fast, and, you know, he was okay for the college level when it comes to an overall athlete. Probably not an NFL athlete, though. At least one that was worth being drafted. Maybe you're sitting there saying, can't ignore the production, but then he also had a knee injury, which maybe hurt him as well. So interesting that he was that productive, but did not get drafted. Franklin Ricks, meanwhile, might be our first dud of the video, as he is a normal development. And our next guy, Nick Joy, how about 95 acceleration with 84 juke move, 91 speed, pretty solid skill set. And then we see what the next season has to offer us. David Milburn, But another injury suffered here. Game 1 of the year, runs for over 100 yards, gets injured, season-ending injury. Then you go to Franklin Ricks as a backup, does end up with 500 yards because of injury to other running backs at Boise State. So he got the opportunity to play a little bit. There's no need to hop into Boise State's playoff game because he's back as the number 3 running back. The other guys are healthy, so he wouldn't really play in the playoffs. Not really a point in hopping into that one. But we do have other playoff action. How about Roberto Cash, who had a really nice set of skills to him that we really feel like he could be a great player, elite development, and he's made the playoffs here now as a 14-6 game as Cash to the edge, and Roberto Cash inside the 20-yard line. 2 back-to-back touches for him. Both go for first downs. As now look at breaking out of a sack is UCLA's quarterback, but he eventually goes down. 4th down, and in the rain, it's been hard to come by points. 14-9 your score after the field goal try is good. And Missouri takes over in their ground game getting it going with a run for 15. Now from the 35-yard line, they go back to the ground game, and they go back to a successful run, 10 more yards. Jump to 3rd down and 1, read option, and both teams run the football well. Another first from Missouri. They're ticking this clock down to under 4 minutes to play. Over the middle now, the air is going to get the job done, as an injury timeout's going to stop the clock momentarily, but Missouri's in scoring position. Got to hold them to a field goal here, but you can't stop the run to save your life. He's over 100 yards on the ground, and Roberto Cash is going to have to sit there and watch himself be outdone by Missouri's running back. Look at the broken tackles there, as that was goal to go from the 2, read option, touchdown, Missouri. About as good of a game-clinching drive as you could potentially have. I mean, technically not over, but 4th down and 12, 2 minutes to play, down by 2 scores, UCLA to the air, and it's going to be caught. So game technically not over, but a lot's going to need to go in the way of UCLA as Roberto Cash can't bring that pass in. 3rd down and 10 as they spread the field over the middle. Tipped up, and it's dropped! No, he's got to bring that one in. The rain, I'm just going to blame the rain for that one as they do get the first down on 4th down, and they keep the drive going. Minute 30 to play as he's got a clean pocket, throws a strike down the middle of the field. It's caught, broken tackle, he broke a second, got it to 1st and goal at the 2 as the throw is going to be outside, caught, touchdown. And now you got to go for the onside kick. He only got 2 timeouts, not all 3, and it's scooped up by Missouri, and that will do it. And the game is over, so you just couldn't stop Missouri on that final drive where they go and ran it down your throats, basically. But Roberto Cash, 91 yards on the ground, 1,000 yards on the season, 21 touchdowns. That might be a magical number for some of these running backs. Prather had 2 21 touchdown seasons, and now Roberto Cash with 21 touchdowns. And Nick Joy, meanwhile, is going to commit to Washington. And David Milburn, after a season-ending injury, I mean, for a number 1 running back, this guy's been, I know injuries stink, but a little disappointing with his overall development. He just doesn't have that level of ceiling. Can't say the same for Roberto Cash, who has like 94 speed, 99 carrying, good elusiveness, can truck defenders, could do basically everything. Franklin Ricks, the normal development's definitely hurting him, but he does have some nice skill caps to be able to maybe still climb his way into being a star running back. Nick Joy, already maxed out on his quickness, but everything else, though, a lot of room for him to grow. Next running back on the board, we have is Frederick Duggins, another contact seeker from Texas this time. It's interesting, with a lot of contact seekers early on. Playoff bracket, UCLA back in there. And how about the unluckiness of David Milburn? Bad skill caps, and now he tears his Achilles. He's out 46 weeks. He ran for 600 yards on the season, but back-to-back season-ending injuries for him. Nick Joy only sees 11 touches and, you know, gets a touchdown at least. Franklin Ricks, now the backup running back, out and out, 10 touchdowns on the ground. And Roberto Cash, how about number 2 on the board for a running back to win the Best Running Back Award? As Cash in the playoffs, let's see if he can have more success than last year, taking on Louisville as they're 10-2 on the season. And right now, though, they are down by 11, so we'll see if UCLA, who has to probably rely on Roberto Cash to close out this game, can do it. Don't want to let Louisville get in the end zone to cut this down to a 1-score game, though, as the screen is going to get them into the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now throwing on 3rd down and 3. Outside, caught, and he's fighting, and he's down right at like the inch-yard line as they'll hand it off, but UCLA's defense is there. 3rd down and goal, quick RPO, nice block by the receiver on the perimeter, gets into the end zone, touchdown, and now 24-20. I want to see Roberto Cash touch this football, and here he goes. And he gets into the outside, and he's fighting forward. It takes 3 defenders to bring him down. Gain of 7. Second down and 3. Draw, and he's going to be met. I don't think he really read the blocks right on that one. Maybe he should have cut that one inside. Now they're going to go to read option. I don't like that one. Quarterback should have just handed it to Roberto. Not because I'm biased and I want to see him touch the football, but because probably would have been a better idea than running into 2 defenders and losing 4. But now Louisville can actually take the lead on this drive. We're about down to the 2-minute warning. Third down and 14, though. 39-yard line. He's got time. He's looking. Nobody got open, though, and he threw it away. We're on to 4th down. It is 14 yards to go. All 3 timeouts for Louisville. He got hit as he's throwing, and it was short of the receiver. Hit definitely disrupted, and now you lean on Roberto Cash, who stiff arms one, but still loses a yard on the play. And that's a bad snap! That's a really bad snap! Oh no, I think Louisville's gonna get a chance in this one. Oh boy, a bad snap on a draw play, and now Louisville with great field position for their drive. They're out of timeouts, but they got 48 yards to go to get a touchdown here. Is that pass intercepted? All right, they avoided the scare. My goodness, a bad snap goes right through the quarterback's legs. Can't get the draw off. At least he jumped on the football, but still almost ended in disaster for UCLA. But they will win this playoff game. Move on. Cash has a touchdown, not a whole lot else, but I definitely can imagine with, winning the best running back award, they're probably selling out to try to stop him, and that's what the defense's game plans are for this playoffs as #1 Clemson. Look at Cash. I mean, he's fighting, but he's just getting swarmed. He broke off a couple of tackles and just couldn't get that first down marker. Now, UCLA will still get a field goal. It's 13-7, but man, the defense is, I guess it's smart. Sell out on the best player. Return from Clemson. He's going to get past a defender and past the 40. Midfield. Great return. He had just enough speed to slip by that little crack that opened up. And now Clemson right down the seam. And in 2 plays, inside the 10, fighting inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Clemson go over the lead. Outside. He's down to the 2. As now it's 3rd and goal. Play action, and they check it down. Touchdown, it fooled the defense. He got wide open, and now it's a 1-point game as quarterback's going to keep it on the read option, get the first down. 6.5 to go. Cash outside on the screen, and that's just number 60. I didn't want to block him, I guess. 3rd down and 8. Cash into block as they'll throw it outside. Knocked away by Clemson, and they get the football back. So really disappointing. We're not able to see Roberto Cash really do anything because he's so good that they're selling out to stop him. You're forcing UCLA to go to the air, and that's not really what they got here doing. They got here by running the football with the best running back in the nation, and now you're going to have to force them to throw it. But at least Cash is down there 15 yards down the field hitting a block as they're going to go right up the seam on the RPO for the first down. They got the football back, and they've strung together 2 first downs. But now 2nd down and long. Check it down. Roberto Cash is going to set them up with a 11-yard gain. 3rd down and 4. Slant route over the middle. Caught in between 2 defenders. That's huge. Now going to go read option. They got to sell out on Cash, and the quarterback's going to run for 9. They're just not letting Roberto touch this football on the ground. Finally, they hand it to him, but 2 unblocked defenders got in. I mean, you can see the game plan here. Another run. Another 2 defenders swarm on him. I mean, yeah, maybe the blocking could be a little bit better, but Clemson, they're selling out to stop him and hold him to another field goal. I mean, it's working. Clemson's losing, but the strategy is working. You got him held to 16 points. You got a minute to play. Clemson, it's up to the offense. The defense has done its job as they get a first down there at midfield. Timeout burned. 45 seconds to play. Stepping up. Over the middle. It's caught. Now into field goal range as they get it to the 32-yard line. 30 seconds to play, and Clemson's making that field goal try a little bit easier. They get it down to about 24 seconds to play. Field goal on its way. It is good. And Clemson with the 1-point lead. So it looks like the strategy of selling out on the nation's top running back might just work out as they're going to bring that pass in. Set themselves up for a Hail Mary try. You got a 58-yard miracle in you. That pass 2-on-2 swatted down into the hands of a linebacker who is coming in. He's got the freest interception of his career. And a win for Clemson. Unfortunate for UCLA. I mean, you had the nation's best running back, and you just couldn't do anything with him. 15 carries, 21 yards, touchdown. But overall, his season, 1,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, and no fumbles. another 350 yards through the air. And I mean, look at all of his great performances. He had his 2 worst games in the 2 bowl games because they sold out to stop him. I don't even really blame him that much for it. But he's going to go to the NFL, be a first-round draft pick. That's already 2 first-round draft picks on the board, 2 best running back award winners on the board. Frederick Duggins is going to go to Tulane. David Milburn, well, can he stay healthy this year? He's almost fully maxed out, and he's still not even like an NFL guy. Even if you fully maxed him out, like, he might be a day 3 pick, but he just didn't have the ceiling of these other guys. Nick Joy, meanwhile, he's probably going to see a little bit more playing time at Washington. I think more than like 11 carries, which is what he got last year. Frederick Duggins, star development, and he looks like he could be pretty all right. Still got a lot of ways to go on quickness. Still got a lot of ways to go on some of these other skill attributes. So could be an NFL type of guy. Emmanuel Boodle, the next running back from Georgia, East-West playmaker. And I like the skill set that we're seeing here, but this dude, David Milburn, couldn't stay healthy. 9 games played. He had 700 yards at 5 touchdowns. He played pretty solid in those games, but Kennesaw State doesn't end up making a bowl game, and in his final 3 seasons, only is able to play a total of 19 games. Joy, meanwhile, 100 carries, not all that good in those 100 carries. And then Frederick Duggins, just 27 carries, but 5 touchdowns. Now we go to Boise State, where we do actually have unexpected action. Franklin Ricks has been the running back for most of this season due to injury of the starter, as Pitt's going to start this thing off with a scoop and score touchdown to get things to a 1-score game. So we're at 35-31, but Franklin Ricks has been able to actually be this team's primary ball carrier this year. And you know, the injury gods hurt us with Milburn at Kennesaw State, but they helped us here because Franklin Ricks has gotten a lot more opportunities in his career due to injury. He had that season where he was the number 3, really got to be the number 2, and ended up having 500 yards in his first season playing. And then this season, he's the primary ball carrier. So Pitt down by 5, throwing middle. It's going to be incomplete. 3 minutes to play. Boise's going to take over. Pump fake from the quarterback. He's going to throw down the field. It's going to be incomplete, and they'll have to punt the football right back to Pitt. Neither offense really able to get going right now as Pitt's got the first down past midfield. They go to a 2nd and 3 situation. Check it down out of the backfield. He's got a broken tackle. Get a couple extra yards to the 39. 1st and 10 with 1:20 to play. He's going to throw middle, open, red zone opportunity. And Boise State could be blowing a 2-score lead here in this 4th quarter, but they get the sack to help them out a lot. 3rd down and 15. 50 seconds to play. He's going to go for the end zone. Incomplete. 15 yards to go on 4th down. He's going to blow one. End zone. It's caught. Touchdown. Pitt in the back corner, and now Boise State is going to get sacked here. Now you got to go 90 yards of field if you're going to get a lead here, but then the RPO, the slant route, I think everybody bit, and everybody's going to be lifting the dust. Touchdown. 3 different defenders all bit down on the slant. None of them stayed back as the last line of defense. All 3 made the same mistake. It's okay if 1 or even 2 does it, but you can't do all 3. And because of that, a 90-yard catch and run can win this game. 10 seconds to play for Pitt. You got a Hail Mary in you. I don't think he's going to be able to get it off because he's running, sliding down at the 34. 5 seconds to go. Clock stops momentarily, but I don't know if you're going to have enough time to get the play off. 3, 2, 1, play is off, and Pitt is going to go right down the middle. It's caught but short of the end zone. Game over. Man, that was a crazy finish to have a 90-yard slant route for the win. As, yeah, you could see, I mean, starting running back only played 5 games. Franklin Ricks ended up getting banged up in the bowl game. He played the bowl game, but he got banged up during it. 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. He had 88 yards against Pitt in that bowl. So he got the opportunity to play, and that's nice. Frederick Duggins is going to transfer immediately because he wants to play. And no surprise here, Milburn doesn't get drafted. That's like one of the craziest things we've had happen where, you know, a player just gets 3 straight years of season-ending injuries. How about also our first ever encounter with a dev trait upgrade? Ricks, backup running back, 1,000 yards due to injury, up his dev trait up to impact, which I think is very valid. His quickness is also all the way maxed out. I think it's a little late for him to maybe hit the NFL because he's still mid-80s, but that's cool that we've seen a dev trait upgrade. Meanwhile, Frederick Duggins, he transferred to Arizona. He's going to get immediate action there. And 4, Boodle, impact development, and he is at the University of Miami. We've been pretty heavy on the contact seekers and the east-west playmakers, so that seems to be maybe the most prevalent one so far. Next running back on the board, Quincy, I'm going to call him Roche because that's a lot cooler than calling him like Roach. I'm going to say Roche. That sounds better. Franklin Ricks, meanwhile, he broke his tailbone, so yeah, his season came to an end. He had 900 yards, so it's a lot of injuries happening in this early. It's not like the big-time running backs getting hurt, but like all the smaller guys got hurt. And I guess it's full circle for Franklin Ricks because he got opportunities due to injury, and he lost his final opportunity due to injury, so I guess. I mean, the wear and tear is more serious, and when you're at a position like running back, it's going to happen. So we're in Arizona's bowl game against Washington State as, like I said, Duggins got to get immediate playing time here at Arizona, and it's 20-10, taking on Washington State, who is ranked, and they get a stop here. 4th down and 4. Can they keep him off the field all 4 downs? He's got a foot one down the sideline, incomplete. And Arizona's got the 10-point lead with the football in great field position. Play action. He's going to throw middle, caught, and inside the 10-yard line. Can we get Duggins a touchdown here? Can we get him on the ball? I mean, he's not on the field right now. They're going to float one end zone touchdown, though. And it's a bit of a runaway right now. 17-point game. We jump ahead to a 4th down and 2. That's going to be caught. Washington State does get themselves inside the 15, but how about another 4th down situation? Floating one back of the end zone. It is brought in. Touchdown. Washington State cuts it to a 10-point game. Onside kick, though, is going to be scooped up by Arizona, and they'll maintain the 10-point lead in enemy territory. And they'll drop in to throw it. Middle, slant, caught, 1st down. Keep running that clock. Washington State out of timeouts. Duggins in the game. Here he goes. Here goes Duggins outside. And he's going to get a gain of 6. That puts him over 100 for the day. Give him another carry. And he will break a tackle, get the 1st down. And that will be enough to end it. As 27-17, we did get to see Duggins get 2 carries at the end there, and he did have, like I said, a 100-yard game, make it 106 on 16 carries, 2 nice chunk runs, a very impressive 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns on 6.6 yards a carry, 7 100-yard games, and a lot of big runs. As you can, probably guess, Ricks did not get drafted. And how about Miami? Okay, we got something interesting here. Miami's gotten back-to-back running backs. So Boodle and Roche are both at Miami, and they're both going to see some playing time. So things I think can get really interesting here. Duggins coming off a hyper-efficient season. We'll see if he gets to maybe break 200 carries and maybe do it on similar efficiency. But the running back room of Miami now, Emmanuel Boodle is going to be the guy, and Roche will be the number 2. Star development and a nice, really nice player, actually. He looks really good. I mean, maxed out quickness, almost maxed out elusiveness for his skill caps. He looks like he could be really good, and keep in mind, that elusiveness and speed comes from a guy who's a contact seeker as well. Miami in the playoffs as well against a Alabama team. We'll get to that one in a little bit, but meanwhile, let's get to the other bowl action. Arizona ranked. Duggins 95 yards on the ground so far, and he'll get a screen pass outside. It's a 20-8 game over UTEP. It's looking pretty much in the hands of Arizona, but we'll see what Duggins can do here. As if he can get 100 yards on the ground, he's close, and we'll get to the 3-yard line. Passing, touchdown, Arizona. It's 27 on the board for Arizona. No need to really watch the defense. Let's get back on the board with Arizona, who they handed off to Duggins, and he's going to get himself past the 100-yard mark, fight ahead for a gain of 14, and another field goal for Arizona will be tacked on, so that will end the game. Got to see Duggins at least touch the ball, 2 times. And once again, another bowl victory for Arizona. So Duggins has quietly carved out himself a nice little run here. Another 100-yard bowl performance on more good efficiency. Not quite the 6.6, but the carries went up, the yards went up, and he was once again really effective. And another 7 100-yard games, so He's had a nice 2-year run here at Arizona. We'll see if they can get themselves maybe into the playoffs, get some more talent around him, or if he transfers up somewhere else. Now let's go to Washington. Joy's finally getting the opportunity to be this team's running back, and he's going to have his team throw an interception to Georgia Tech. It's 9-3 versus 7-5. Washington up by 4. Georgia Tech, meanwhile, with the football, running it inside the red zone of the 19-yard line. Now 3rd down and inches from the 9. They hand it off for the 1st down. Georgia Tech going for the lead here with under 4 minutes to play now. 3rd and goal. Quick pass to the tight end. It's knocked out last second. 4th down and goal. And this could be your game-defining play. Washington's defense comes up big. And now you get to go maybe to Joy. No, they go play action to him, and they go across the field to a 1st down grab. Get them out of the shadow of their own end zone. No safety in danger now. Hand off to Joy, and a little early on the spin move there. Gets 6, though. 3rd down and inches. Will they go back to him? Yes, they will. Joy cuts it the other way, and Joy for the 1st. Georgia Tech having to use some timeouts, as now Joy's in the block. They'll throw an interception! Georgia Tech is going to just steal this football away inside the 5, down to the 2. I don't know what that decision was, but you might have just given them another chance to win this game. Handoff, touchdown. Man, I don't know what that decision was. But now you find yourselves down, and you're going to have to do it through the air. They're going to get a 1st down to the 42-yard line. As now play action to Joy. He's out on a route. They're not going to throw it to him. They'll go right down the middle to a wide open receiver. And now at the 26, throwing. He's going to get hit and over the middle again. 81's got it. And they're at the 6-yard line. Goal to go. Flag is down, but Joy, handoff, touchdown. And Joy gets the potential game-winning score. And it will stand. It was an offside. So count it for Washington. As Georgia Tech's got just 40 seconds to play. Broken tackle. They're trying to run the football on 3rd and long with 40 seconds to go. I don't know what you're doing. 30 seconds to play now as he'll throw it deep. Pass one-on-one. It's caught. He brought that one in. And Georgia Tech out of timeouts, but they're inside scoring position. Get out of bounds now in the red zone. 3rd down and 5 from the 17. He's throwing. Middle. Caught in bounds, but 1st down. Goal to go. 12 seconds to play after the spike. Floating it for the end zone. Caught out at the 1. 9 seconds to play. 3rd down and goal. Floating it. Intercepted. He went one-on-one on the fade route. And Washington's going to hang on for the victory. So a little bit of fireworks at the end. But Joy ends up, count it. Game-winning touchdown. He had just 49 yards, not all that great of a game, but the score in the end, he ends up with 1,100 yards and 20 touchdowns. A lot of running backs put the ball in the end zone this year. A lot more statistical proficiency when it comes to running backs getting touchdowns. Now let's get into the part I'm excited for, to see some action from these Miami running backs. It's 19-14 in the playoffs right now as Alabama is losing, but they got the football. Can Miami take these 2 #1 rated running backs and have themselves one heck of a run to lead them all the way to a national championship potentially? As this punt from Alabama, it's a good one all the way down at the 3. And now backed up, but Boodle, the running back, he's going to get the screen. I don't know why you're setting him up. He broke 2 tackles, but he got a safety. Oh, come on. And he's out here, he patted his chest saying, that's my bad. That is not your bad, Boodle. You were set up for failure there. Who throws a screen in the end zone like that? Alabama now down by 3. Good field position, 4th down and 1. They'll go for a long field goal to tie it up. Kick is good. And Alabama just basically got handed a free 5 points right there, as now Alabama's defense takes the field. Can't really get a safety on this drive, but can they get the stop? 3rd down and 6, floating it up. It's intercepted! Just hand the football off at this point because the passing game ain't working. Alabama's got another good set of field position with 4.5 minutes to play. 3rd down and 9. Miami's defense not able to get off the field there. 3:30 to play. Handoff, broken tackle, and he will get a 3rd down and 1. They go with the run. He gets through the hole and gets the 1st down, and considering they just hit from 56, they're definitely in field goal range now as they're at the 34. 2nd down and 2. Handing it off. 1st down again. Man, this Miami team isn't even going to get much of a chance on offense, are they? I mean, at least the running backs, they got a chance in the passing game. They just failed. 3rd down and 12. He's going to throw it deep. And there's no one in the area. Touchdown. No one even covered him. And Miami is now in a spot where they need to score with this passing attack that hasn't been all that helpful to them. As now 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Just over a minute to go. Drag route. There's Boodle. First down. He broke the tackle. And look at Boodle lining up out wide, getting the play there. As now they'll throw again. And he's going to get sacked. Loss of 13. Under 60 seconds to go. Throwing it deep. One-on-one coverage. It's incomplete. 3rd and 23 on the play. Screen for Boodle. You got a long way to go. Not really able to do much. He gets them 9, but it's 4th and 14 as he's in the block. Floating it outside. Knocked away. And the game is over. Miami loses, and go back to the drawing board. You got these great running backs. Give them an opportunity. Obviously, Roche being a freshman, he wasn't going to get like a whole lot of touches. But Boodle had 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns. Pretty nice season. Not the 6 yards, crazy yards per carry that some of these other running backs have put forth, but 6 100-yard games. And Roche will get an opportunity to play because both of them are sticking around here at Miami. And Miami's losing 3 other running backs. So I said that this backfield was pretty open for them to both be able to play. It wasn't going to be year 1 together, but they're both available to play now, and they're both going to be the guys. Frederick Duggins is looking really good at Arizona. We'll see if he can have a trio of good seasons. Thought he looked pretty solid out of the backfield catching the football in that playoff game. We'll see if he can continue having some success, getting another 1,000-yard season. But Quincy Roche is looking real nice now, as I really think Roche could be one of the better running backs that we have seen. And then Jason Yeast is the next running back. He goes to Nebraska, and he looks pretty, by the numbers, not over the top crazy, not bad. Definitely can be a good running back, though. Frederick Wayne, though, how about this one? We might have a special back on our hands. East-West playmaker, 94 speed, 94 excel, good moves, gem. Miami, meanwhile, in the playoffs, 1st round bye. Let's go to Arizona, who, got better and better year by year rank-wise. They go up to number 15, but still not enough for the playoffs for Duggins. But Duggins, healthy, 3-year starting running back for them, and he is going to see if he can get another bowl win. Can he go 3-0 on the Bulls? Because look at Georgia Tech's defense letting him spring free, and he's going to get to the 30-yard line. Pass right up the seam, caught for the 1st down on the RPO. Got a 13-yard line situation here. Slant route, 1st down, and now goal to go. Can they get it to Duggins for a touchdown? No, they're going to throw it, and he's going to try to scramble. He gets sacked, 4th down and goal. And that will lead to a field goal try. Kick on the way. It is good. Still a 1-score game, though. 34-26 the situation here. Throw on the run for Georgia Tech. Intercepted. And right back at the Arizona offense gets to come out in the red zone and hand it off as they will run it inside the 10-yard line. Timeouts are being used. And up again. He is going to get stopped in the backfield, 4th down and 1. Another field goal try is going to be good, though, which means it's a 2-score game with under 2 minutes to go. Georgia Tech wasn't really able to do anything with the football. Arizona ran out the clock the rest of the way, and a victory on the board. So Duggins, 9 carries for 19 yards. Not a great way to end the career, but how about statistically, though, a great one. 6.7 a carry. He actually topped his sophomore total and had a whole bunch of big games. Like, Duggins isn't going to be like some superstar level player when it comes to, his accolades, never made the playoffs, never did any of that stuff. But man, he was so good. Now let's go to Miami. Let's see what this running back duo's got this year now that they're both playing. Miami up in the air for the 1st down completion. Just threw a jump ball and he got it. Now a handoff. Here goes Boodle to the edge. He's going to run through a defender. Boodle running over a guy. He's having a great game right now. Hand it off to him. Boodle inside the 3 to the 2. Can he get into the end zone? No, they check in Roche, and he gets in. So both the running backs getting involved, and Roche punches it in. He is the power back between the two. He's the contact seeker, whereas Boodle is the playmaker, the receiver. So it's a nice complementary skill set, and getting Boodle lining them up all the way at the 2-yard line for the big guy to punch it in. Now the offense back out on the field for Miami. They're already up 18 against Michigan, and they're dominating right now offensively, as they are at the 22-yard line. Go back to Boodle. Makes a cut. Makes him miss, and Boodle Get him a little bit of space, and he will do something with it. 3rd down and 3. It's going to be breaking out of a sack and incomplete, so it'll be 4th down and 3. Yeah, tack on another field goal. Make it a 31-10 game. Michigan's offense eventually gets it all the way down the field for a goal-to-go situation where they get a touchdown to cut it down to a 2-score game, though the onside kick is ultimately going to be what matters here. Miami scoops it up, and he gets a nice burst of speed to the outside. Onside kick, taking it all the way. Touchdown, Miami. All right, taking the onside kick back for a score to seal the deal. That's how you punctuate a playoff victory. Miami on to the Final Four, and the running backs did their job today. 99 yards on 12 carries, and Roche only 4 carries, but he got into the end zone. Both guys got touchdowns. Now taking on Oregon. Start the 4th quarter off, and here goes Boodle, cutting it inside, and he has a nice gain. Boodle's having another efficient day with his carries. He's in the block here. 8-point game, Miami and Oregon. Oregon undefeated at 14-0, but the offense for Miami is just so good right now because they throw a screen out to Boodle. Get him the football, and he is making plays. 21-yard line. Now they go back to the RPO, and the tight end inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. Now a little keeper, quarterback, run. They got so many rushing threats. Touchdown, Miami. Quarterback can run. They got 2 number 1 rated running backs. How do you stop this team as Oregon is throwing an interception now? Taking it back, and Miami already in the red zone once more. Let's hand it off to Boodle. Takes the carry, and 1-on-1, he puts the defender on the ground, and a gain of 10. 2nd and inches. Hand off, he breaks a tackle, and he's in. Touchdown. This dude, for a playmaking athletic running back, has some power to him, and another interception. It's a party here in Miami. Another drive starting in the red zone. Give it to Boodle again. Why not? No, they throw a screen. Other way. Touchdown. This is the most dominant 4th quarter I've ever seen, and it's against Oregon. It was 23-15 at the start. It ends 47-15. Boodle goes for 100. Roche with another touchdown. Boodle has an awesome day. Okay, national title game against Notre Dame. Another undefeated team. Notre Dame allowing Miami to get to the 1-yard line. I know where I want this football going, but they go the other way. The RPO. Touchdown, Miami. And it's 21-21, so Notre Dame with the football now, breaking a tackle here. I just want to see both these running backs get on the field again. As 8 minutes to go, he's going to throw on the run, got the tight end, and a 1st down to the 37-yard line. What a way to cap off this season if they can win this national championship. As another short pass, catch and run, 1st down for Notre Dame. As they are under 7 minutes to play. Past midfield now. It's been a lot of quick decisions for this offense. Handing it off, sweeping to the edge. He's going to get swarmed, and finally getting off the field is the defense. 4th down, kick on the way. And Notre Dame's got themselves a lead, 24-21. Miami has the football back, and you know where I think you should go with the football. Boodle has been a superstar so far as he gets the carry here. Not able to get to the edge. Loses a yard. 3rd down. They swing it out to him. He's got room. 1st down. Making a defender miss. Tries a 2nd. He's just so slippery. Now a little play fake. Hit as he's throwing into a defender. Intercepted. Boodle has to make the tackle and save a touchdown. But Notre Dame with the football back, and they're in great field position, already in field goal range. 3rd down and 3. Miami's defense, you got something here. No, it's a 1st down. You can't let them get into the end zone or it's all over, as they'll throw underneath. Dropped. 3rd down and 10. 2:30 to play. Miami's using timeouts and a sack. 2nd timeout used, and Notre Dame will kick a field goal. It is still a 1-score game, but you need the touchdown here. Turnover ends it as they'll throw over the middle. It's incomplete. 3rd down and 5. As their quarterback not able to really handle the pressure right now as he's throwing a deep pass. 1-on-1 incomplete. 4th down and 5. Game on the line, and Boodle's in the block. He's throwing it deep again. It's intercepted in double coverage. You had your opportunity. I don't think the quarterback was really handling the pressure all that well, and unfortunately, you weren't able to run the football as much as you would have liked at the end of that game. But a Notre Dame national championship, and let's hope these Miami backs will be back for another season, because I want to see them together a little bit longer. as Boodle goes for 90 yards. All of his playoff games were so efficient. Roche scored a touchdown in every playoff game as well. Boodle ends up with 1,600 yards, just 7 touchdowns, because, you know, you probably had another guy in Roche stealing all the touchdowns from him, but Boodle has a bunch of 100-yard games, and yeah, Roche ends up with 11 touchdowns, 560 yards for a backup running back. So really good to have these running backs combined for over 2,000 yards and almost 20 touchdowns between them. Jason East is going to transfer. The Miami backs are sticking around, neither one transferring. Frederick Duggins ends up getting drafted in round 3, well deserved. And Yeast, we have our first encounter with a running back who is not transferring anyway. We had this happen last video. Sometimes they pop up, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they end up at a random school that you didn't even expect. Sometimes they just never show up again. So if he pops up, we'll check on him. If not, then I guess he's gone. But Boodle and Roche are now looking like a absolute dangerous duo, and I am so excited for what Miami has. So yeah, I looked for East. He's not here right now. Maybe he'll pop up later on. Trust me, like, even though I don't always show it, I look for the players like every single year, every couple of weeks I'll pop in. Frederick Wayne, meanwhile, how about elite development for Wayne? And an 80 overall running back with elite development, amazing skill caps, nearly limitless. On top of that, the rare true freshman starter for Texas, as that's huge. A true freshman starter is so exciting, and they're gonna make the playoffs, and Miami's the #1 seed, so playoff action. 9 minutes to play, Texas up by 7, and Wayne, first carry we watch from him. Frederick Wayne, 80 yards. Look how fast he is. No one's even close to him. Touchdown. And that's how you kick off watching a generational running back. Frederick Wayne up by 14 now for Texas. And if Texas wins this game, we get a matchup against Miami. Fumble on the field. Texas picks it up. And oh boy, this could be getting out of hand quickly. Wayne is going to make a man miss. And Wayne has himself 6. He's at 130 on the day. RPO outside. And they're in the red zone now, right in front of the Texas mascot, as they'll hand it off. Wayne outside. He's going to get ahead for a close first down call. They'll call it 2nd and inches. And now Wayne, can he get into the end zone once more? He's at the 5-yard line. Goal to go. And they'll hand it off to him. Wayne scores again. 21-point game with 6 minutes to play. SMU, you're going to need a miracle if you want to come back in this one. And that's a great way to start if you're going to do it. Big grab inside the 40-yard line as he'll throw. SMU, time in the pocket. And another grabbing coverage. How about the red zone now, handing it off. He goes inside the 10, hesitates a little bit, falls forward, and gets brought into the end zone. Touchdown, SMU. Not done quite yet. 14-point game, but 4.5 to go. SMU gets a sack. Time's running out, though, for the Mustangs, as they're going to throw one down the field. Texas, one-on-one, incomplete. SMU gets it back, a quick stop. Under 4 to play at the 45-yard line. Throwing it deep. It's brought in. And SMU's back in the red zone. As now 3 minutes to play. 2nd down and 6. End zone. Touchdown. It's a 1-score game. And SMU, it was 6 minutes to play in a 21-point game. 3 minutes later, it's a 1-score game. As Texas, now they fumble the football. And SMU has it. Inside the 20, SMU can tie this game. And they're throwing a party on the sidelines because they can make this comeback. Sweep it outside as he cuts it. 10, spin move, first down, goal to go. Handing it off once more for the tie. He's down to the 3. Can SMU pull off the comeback of all comebacks? That's going to be caught, but losing yards. It's 4th and goal. Texas, he can stop the bleeding here. He's throwing. He's going. End zone. Tie game. And just like that, SMU is tied it with the extra point. 35 is your score. What is happening here? Give the ball to Frederick Wayne. Do something, because whatever's going on right now, it's not working. 1.5 to go. Wayne on the carry. Wayne is going to get brought down. He's trying to fight. Not going to get far, though. You got 3rd down and 8 as quarterback's going to look. Find an open tight end in the flats. I don't think he's going to be able to get there, though. He doesn't. SMU has the football back with 1 minute to go. They can win this in regulation. 53 seconds. 2nd down and 5, first down completion, and he's getting a solid gain of 14 from the 42, outside, caught, and a gain of 5 yards. 31 seconds to play as he's got time in the pocket. Pressure's just not getting in for Texas. Throwing it deep, and it's caught at the 15. SMU! Are you kidding me right now? They're in field goal range. Screen outside, play it safe, and you can have an all-time comeback on your hands. 15 seconds, they're going to just take it now. 5, 4, 3, kick on its way, and the comeback is good. 21 points down with 6 to play to 3 points up as time expires. And Frederick Wayne, generational running back, did all that in the fourth quarter, and for what? He had a spectacular season, 1,100 yards, 19 touchdowns, add another 200 in the air, another touchdown. Saved his best game for the bowl game where he goes for 150 and 2 touchdowns. SMU, though, they get to steal the spot against Miami, and I would say it'd be a pretty crazy run if you go and beat Miami and Texas with all these running backs. Boodle gets tackled in the backfield on 3rd down, as we'll see what this undefeated Miami team with now 2-star running backs can do. As SMU, can they cut it down to a 1-score game? They'll throw it, middle, caught, and he's breaking a tackle and getting inside the 50-yard line. This team does not go away. 2-score lead, and you know that's not safe as they get brought down in the backfield. Loss of 6, 3rd down and 12. He's going to step up and throw it over the middle, and he hung on to that. These receivers, what are they made of? 3rd down and 8, 31-yard line, rolling, throwing as he's hit, incomplete. 4th down and 8. These guys just do not go down. Blitz set in. He breaks out a 2-second test, throwing it deep. Incomplete. This quarterback is wild. Miami, though, just might be too much. Play action completion for a 1st down into SMU territory. How about handing it off to Boodle? He's going to break a tackle, and he'll get 5 yards on the play. 2nd down and 5. Spread the field out, and they'll throw over the middle an open man into field goal range. It still stays a 2-score game with a field goal, but can he get that touchdown? Boodle is going to get a 7-yard gain. 2nd down and 3. Throwing outside, caught, and in contested coverage on the curl route. They get it to goal to go. As now 3:40 to play outside, inside the 5, falling forward at the 2-yard line. How about get the ground game going? Boodle is going to break 1, break 2, not 3, and it's 4th down and goal. They will kick the field goal, so SMU, it's still a 2-score game. It's a little scary. This SMU team, you never know, as the 3rd down and 7 catch will get them only to a 4th and 6. They only got 1 timeout. You got a 4th down conversion in you, though, as they will check it down underneath. He gets it just barely. Game stays alive a little bit longer as they'll throw, middle, caught, 1st down, past the 40-yard line. And they'll hurry it back to the line. We're under the 2-minute warning now as they'll get another slant route for a 1st. So Miami's letting them just go down the field and hoping that they just run out of time eventually as they're in the red zone now. Minute to play, still just 1 timeout. Outside, inside the 10-yard line. And they will get it to the 8, 4th down and 1. Another 4th down situation and another conversion down to the 1-yard line. They're out of timeouts. Handoff, touchdown SMU. And it's not going to matter if you can't get the onside kick as it is going to be scooped up by Miami. A little scary for a moment. But finally, SMU's run is over. And Miami is going back to the Final Four. Can they get some revenge? Trying to win a national championship. They didn't win it last year as the running backs didn't have a crazy performance this time around. It's okay, though. You're taking on Louisville in the next round as they'll go screen to Boodle to start things off. And I just watched the lineman put somebody in the dirt. 3rd down and 4. Throwing Boodle into block, and they get the 1st down. This team is just so full of weapons. Looks like the passing game's a lot more competent this year to go along with these talented running backs as they'll throw one outside, incomplete. And 4th down hits Miami. Only up by 1 score as Louisville with the run. They're going to get 15 on the play. Now jump to 2nd and 4. 6 minutes to go. Spin move. 1st down run. And he just slipped right through. Now getting backed up after a holding penalty. 1st and 20. 1st and 20, though, is no problem because you get the 1st down conversion immediately. As now they set up the screen. It's hit. And the fumble, they counted that as a, I don't know if it was a not a backwards pass, but I guess the ball just poked out, and it's 3rd down and 20 now. I don't know if you got another 20-yard conversion. You don't. 4th down. They punt it, and here goes Boodle. Time to run out some clock. Get Roche and Boodle involved. Boodle's got 133 on the day. Give it back to him. Another 1st down and a cut inside the 25. He is so good as they'll run the football. Quarterback this time around keeps it. Now sweep it out. Boodle on the edge. He's outrunning everybody. Inside the 5 to the 3. As now back them up to 3rd and goal. Draw play. Not going to get the 1st down, so they'll settle for the field goal. But Boodle got him all the way down inside the 10 to give them the full 8-point lead with 48 seconds to go. Louisville has no timeouts, and they're throwing one deep. That pass is incomplete. 4th down and 2. Your game on the line here. They go and pitch it out, a run. I don't know about that call. It's not going to work. As back to a national championship Miami goes. I think this offense as a whole just looks better than it did last year, especially when you got Boodle running for 165 yards on 17 carries. And, well, guess what? Roche had another touchdown. Take on Ole Miss now. Miami finds themselves in the driver's seat. 26-17 on the brink of a 16-0 run as Ole Miss has the football, though. And they're in enemy territory with the completion to the 35-yard line. So already in field goal range to cut this down to a 1-score game. Quick pass to the outside. Tight end, catch and run. And he will have 9. 2nd down and 1. Direct snap to the running back. He's got the 1st. And to the red zone they go. 1st down and 10. Handoff up the middle. Their run game's doing pretty well right now, and they can still afford to run the football, especially if you put the points up on the board here, because they got goal to go. Inside the 5 and down to the 4. As they can get this touchdown first. That would be huge. And they will. Ole Miss scores it. And now it's just a 2-point game. Boodle with the carry. 1st down. And just get Emmanuel Boodle the football, and he will bring you to the promised land, it feels like. He is just getting the football now through the air. 5-yard catch for him. Now 3rd down. Quick slant. It's dropped, and the offensive lineman for Miami, whoever number 55 is at Miami, watch this receiver drop the pass and just shoved him. That's great. As now Ole Miss has the football after one big completion is going to be in enemy territory. They can take the lead here with just 4.5 to play. Screen outside. He's going to make 1 miss, make 2 miss, not 3. 4th down and 4. And they're trying a 64-yard field goal for the lead. Are you crazy? I guess not. It's good. 64 yards in the national championship for the lead. What in the world is that kicker made of? He is ridiculous. That should never be a thing. 3:30 to play. 3rd down and 7. Pass is caught. And a yard shy. Miami punts it. And Miami, are they going to lose back-to-back? Timeouts are being used. Under 3 to go. 1st down for Ole Miss. Miami down to 1 timeout. And the read option, no, they can throw it outside on the RPO. Final timeout used. 3rd down and 10. And they will get the sack. And they'll get the football with the 2-minute warning. So they have no clock stoppages aside from 1st downs. And that's a 1st down there. Midfield. Spreading things out. Nobody in the backfield as they'll throw it. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to fire one down the field. It's caught. It's Boodle. Touchdown in the national championship. Emmanuel Boodle lines up out wide. And a 50-yarder for a potential winner. Screen on the 2-point conversion. Who cares? I mean, that's pretty important. But still, we just had Emmanuel Boodle just get a 50-yard touchdown in the national championship with just under a minute and a half to play. Ole Miss is running the football here. They got 2 timeouts, just over a minute to go from the 31. Needing a touchdown, they'll get 10 there. 3rd down and inches. Run the football. They get the 1st down. And Ole Miss down to 1 timeout. 42 seconds to play. As they will try and throw it. He steps up and it's off the hands of his receiver. 4th down and 8. National championship on the line. He's got time. He's throwing it deep. It's incomplete. Miami wins it. And Emmanuel Boodle's the hero today. A game-winning 50-yard touchdown for the national championship, an undefeated season. What a run, because Boodle had 98 yards on the ground. Roche had 89 and a touchdown. He broke off a 59-yard run. Boodle goes for 1,700 yards and 13 touchdowns. Another 200 yards, through the air and had just big time performances in big time games. Roche runs also for 870 and 13 touchdowns. That is insane. They combined for over 2,500 yards on the ground. I mean, this is some Reggie Bush, Lendale White action here. Boodle goes in the 4th round. He might have been my favorite running back so far. I don't care that he went in the 4th round. He's special. But Roche sticks around, and he might even be better than what Boodle was last season. How about 94 plus overall? He got the coach boost to be a 95. He looks spectacular. Frederick Wayne is still generational. He didn't jump up a crazy amount for some of the elite players that we've seen, like especially with the quarterbacks where we've seen like plus 10s. But he jumped up pretty good. Hawker here at Oklahoma's looking pretty solid. And then we have Carlos Nall, who checks into the next running back slot. But I think the really interesting part is when we move on to the next season, this was weird because I was checking, like I said, every single time I advanced. Hey, look who's back. Hey, Jason East is back, and he's at Houston. And the weird thing is, I showed you when I advanced to the next season, I checked to see if he was anywhere. He wasn't. And then I advanced to the end of the season, and I checked again, and he wasn't around. And then this year I checked, and then here he is. I think the odd part is you can obviously tell, like, I didn't recreate him or anything. Like, it's the same face, same hometown, same everything. Like, I didn't recreate him. But the weird thing is, he had 1,000 yards last season. I never seen him. Like, I never seen him. I checked, I showed you, I checked other times throughout simming. He never popped up, but he had 1,000 yards last season at Houston, I guess. He just magically appeared one day, I guess, and racked up 1,000 yards for them. But hey, here he is. He's back, and he's pretty good, I guess. He's here at Houston, making a bowl game, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, and here we go. Weird how that happens, because even like with some of the comments in the other video, they're like, oh, did he change positions, or did you stop checking for him, or whatever? It's like, no, they don't change positions. They don't pop up. Like the guy last video, the Georgia Tech quarterback, he was just gone. Like it just happens sometimes. So it's weird. You know, my thought process is like either they got like arrested or they went to like Division II or FCS football or something. I don't know. They just they went JUCO. I don't know. Like they just disappeared. But for Yeast, at least he's back, which is cool. He's out here winning this bowl game too right now against Washington State. It's 17-23, and he's getting the first down carry there. 3 minutes to go, and you have a chance to really end this game with a couple of first downs, or you can just go all the way on a big 74-yard score passing touchdown to maybe wrap this game up once and for all, as the 2-point conversion is going to be good. 31-17, your score, Washington State. Can you get into the end zone and still give yourself enough time to try to tie this one up, maybe get an onside kick, something, as 2nd down and 5 is going to be a completion for a first down to the 31-yard line after they got backed up. 3rd down and 18, throwing it deep, one-on-one coverage, touchdown. And Washington State not done yet, but with just 1:20 to go, a first down here can end this for Houston, and they will just have that first down, game over, as Houston's going to be able to get the victory here. So, you know, unfortunately for Yeast, I'm not going to be able to really calculate if he won like a bowl game last year. Or, you know, I've also been keeping some other stats, like 100-yard games as a stat that I've been keeping, so I'm not going to be able to get that for him. So, you know, bear with me with some of the stat tracking. You don't always get it to be perfect, but let's go to the playoff action here. After blowing a 21-point lead last year, can Frederick Wayne and the Texas offense do better this time around as well? Last year was the defense that let them down. Right now, just 17 points on the board against the 12th-ranked Tulane. Can they get more as Wayne inside the 10 to the 5? First down and goal as Texas throwing. End zone, touchdown! And Texas has the lead, 24-17, as Tulane goes play action. Slings it down the middle of the field, intercepted, and Texas's defense takes it back inside the 20, 10, 5, touchdown! Longhorns pick 6. As they got a 2-score lead, just like that's the type of defense you need to have. Not blowing 21-point leads, as it's Tulane breaking out of a tackle there. 40-yard line after the completion, 5.5 to play, pop pass, and he will get the first down. And 81, hard to bring down, but Tulane needing to put the ball in the end zone within the next minute or two, ideally. But it's 4th down and 6, and you might not even get an opportunity to do just that, as they're going to go over the middle in a contested catch. All right. Texas's defense, don't get any flashbacks to last year. Don't let it happen again. As they're going to run ahead. 3rd down and 6 turns to 4th and 3. Another chance to get off the field here and maybe end this game. He's going to run for it. He doesn't have it. It was so close. And Texas is going to throw an incomplete pass on 3rd down, but he made Tulane burn timeouts. He set them backfield position-wise, and with just 2 minutes to go, they're backed up at the 35-yard line. 2nd down and 7. Throwing, intercepted, safety comes over, takes it away, and this game is over. Texas is going to win a playoff game this time around. Wasn't a massive game from Frederick Wayne in the 4th quarter, but still, defense, you'd prefer them to do their job this time around. 62 yards and a score for Wayne, though. As we jump over to Miami, not quite undefeated, and without Boodle, they still have a talented running back in Roche as Wisconsin gets a touchdown. Still going to be a 16-point game, though, as they go with the run game. Miami still got a really talented backfield, and when you have arguably the best running back in the nation, Quincy Roche, is staying on his feet. Look at this guy go. How did he stay up? And he's running for a 1st down. How about another one? Broken tackle outside. Oh my goodness. He actually might be more talented right now than Boodle was. Passing game now is getting going for Miami as they're looking to really end this one with one more score. Quick pass, touchdown Miami. Game is over. 3-score lead with under 2 minutes to go, and it will end 45-30. Wisconsin putting in a late touchdown. Doesn't really matter though when Roche's running for 171 yards and a touchdown on 10 yards per carry. Let's jump back over to Frederick Wayne in Texas as Wayne down by 3 against Ole Miss, and Texas is looking to see if they can maybe get a matchup against Miami, as they missed out last year on that opportunity as they had that blown lead to SMU. SMU ends up going down to Miami, but Texas this time around, maybe we get to see Roche versus Frederick Wayne, as Wayne up the middle for a gain of 5. He's getting the football a decent amount right now. They're going to go with the keeper, and the quarterback's got the first 35-yard line. As they go RPO, fake it to Wayne, get it to the slant route, and it's going to be to the 22-yard line. 3rd down and 9 now, jumping ahead, and he'll throw up the middle, caught. 1st down at the 11. Now they jump to 3rd and 6 from the 7 as he's going to try to run for it. He's not going to get there, though. 3 yards shy, and a field goal try for the tie. Took a lot of time on that drive. Already down under 2 minutes to go, and it's 13-13. Ole Miss is going to get sacked. They can hit the national championship last year, had the heartbreak to Miami, and they want to get another chance at Miami, but they're going to get all the way back to their own 1-yard line, have to punt the football. Texas, meanwhile, great field position, and 120-yard play in there in field goal range, as now Texas is going to have it in the end zone. Touchdown, Longhorns. 47 seconds to play. Ole Miss, no timeouts, and they need to go a long way to get this tie game. Long way to go to overtime, and that pass is caught over the middle of the 40-yard line. Still 60 yards out with under 30 seconds to play. They run it. Surprising call. It gets them the 1st down, though, and a gain of 13, so not too bad. Now 17 seconds to play from the 47. He's running. He's scrambling inside the 30, 25 to the 23, back to the line. They spike it. 8 seconds to play. He's going to throw. End zone for the tie. It's knocked away. 3 seconds to go, needing 23 yards for the game. He's looking, and he shovel passes. Shovel pass. There you go, 4 yards. You really did a good job there. I mean, I don't know why you did that. That's certainly a decision. So Texas wins the game, and Wayne doesn't have a big performance, just 2.5 yards a carry, but we get to see Miami, Oklahoma State. It's been Miami dominance over the number 1 ranked Oklahoma State, 13-0, but it just has not mattered at this point. 20-3 your score, quarterback breaking out of a sack, end zone, touchdown, 27-3. This one was just all Miami. It ends 30-10. We are getting a semifinals Miami-Texas matchup. Roche runs for 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, and we're going to get to see an awesome running back battle. 17-10 here to have the 4th quarter kickoff as it's a screen for Texas. 1st down. One of our running backs is going to a national championship. Can Roche go to his 3rd straight and try to win his 2nd? or can Wayne get his first appearance in the Spotlight National Championship game? He was a generational running back for a reason, as he gets the handoff here, and he's getting a first down to the 37-yard line. Texas down on the scoreboard, and they're leaning on Wayne. Spins off a tackler, and he gets 7 yards. Now 31 yards away on second down and 4. They swing it out, and a close call, 4th and inches. They're going for it. Huge call. Wayne outside, tackled for loss. And Miami takes over. Play action, Miami. Get it out there for a first down completion. And now with under 5 minutes to go, you can maybe start to lean on Roche, but not when you're getting sacked on 3rd down. And Frederick Wayne takes over. They're leaning on him again. And another good run. 10 more yards for Wayne, as he has been the offense for Texas, not just this season, but right now in this 4th quarter. 3rd down and inches, going to Wayne. He's going to get a stiff arm, and Frederick Wayne, 44-yard line, and a first down, under 3 to go. Wayne on the carry again, first down again. Can they ride him all the way to a tie? Just under 2 to go, 3rd down and 10, as they'll throw over the middle. Now the passing game helps them out a little bit at the 27-yard line, though. 3rd down and 12. He's looking, he's throwing over the middle, first down, goal to go from the 9. Wayne's in the block, blitz, set in, caught, touchdown! Texas is headed to overtime. Miami runs out the last minute of time, and we're going to overtime between these two great running backs, and somebody's going to a national championship. Miami gets into the 9-yard line. Now back him up, 2nd and goal from the 11. Roche with the carry, tackle for loss of 1. 3rd down and goal as they're throwing, end zone, it's caught, touchdown, Miami! Texas now takes over. They need a touchdown, and that pass incomplete, but there is a flag down, and it looks like pass interference. Texas is going to get themselves to the 11-yard line, first down and 10, and he's going to get sacked. 3rd down and 13 now from the 14-yard line, and they're going to check it down. Wayne, he's not going to get far. 4th and 8. This is your game on the line for a shot at the national title. Incomplete. He went for the end zone, and it was not to be. Hurricanes to their 3rd straight national championship appearance, and even though Frederick Wayne had a nice performance in that 4th quarter, Roche is going to be ultimately the victor here. Wayne with 1,200 yards, 5 touchdowns also added that through the air. I mean, he had the better performance. He had 93 yards in that game, and Roche did not have great yards per carry, but still, it's a national championship appearance, and take it on Notre Dame. Here goes Roche. So Notre Dame was the team that Miami played 2 years ago. They played Ole Miss last year. 2 years ago, they lost to Notre Dame. Now back here and looking for that 2nd national championship. It's 20-10, and Miami's comfortably in the lead right now, and they are going to tack on a field goal on top of it. 23-10, as Notre Dame looking to make the comeback here, as it's incomplete. 4th down and 9. And Notre Dame going for it, backed up at their own 18. They're going to complete it, though. First down, clock running to under 6 minutes now. 3rd and 11, outside, pass, caught short. And 4th and 6 now. Another 4th down situation as Miami. They're going to send 5, and he's going to have a completion down the middle. And they need touchdown badly. And they're in another 3rd and long, and another big play by the Miami defense to force 4th down. Can you go 3 for 3? And it's short. Not going to have a 3rd 4th down conversion in you. They will get sacked. This one maybe not as nail-biting as the Ole Miss game, but Notre Dame still has a chance in it as they are going to get past midfield. 2nd down and 5, 2:20 to play, and they're going to go right up the seam. These plays down the middle have been really doing well for Notre Dame, but they keep putting themselves in bad 3rd down situations. 3rd and 9. This time they're going to run it, and they're going to get inside the 5. Goal to go, and with 1:40 to play, it's caught for the touchdown. Notre Dame has all their timeouts, so they turn to try to stop Roche, and Roche running through a defender, getting 7. Go back to Roche, and he seals the game. Quincy Roche, national champion again. And what a year for Miami, dude. Roche is unbelievable. He runs for 89 yards, 5 broken tackles because of course, and he has a total of 1,900 yards on the season. Add another 100 through the air. How about Roche's 10 100-yard games, a 5 touchdown game at one point in the season? This dude is unbelievable. He goes round 1, fully deserved. And we will move on to now that phase of this video done here. The Miami duo that was just absolutely legendary. Jason East back here at Houston for another season. Frederick Wayne, 98 speed, 98 excel, maxed out quickness, limitless ceiling still. He can get even better. I mean, I'm a little disappointed that he might just declare after this season, because if he got to stay for 4 years, there's a chance he could be like 97 plus overall. Next running back, though, Carlos Null. He goes and commits to Alabama. Alabama had the first running back commit. He transferred immediately. We'll see if this one sticks around this time around, as Dante Lowen is the next guy. 95 acceleration, 82 vision. That's pretty solid stats for him. And Miami's in the playoffs again. Sadly, we don't have anybody to follow, but Jason East, no bowl game appearance for him this time around. Carried the football less, got the football more in the receiving game, so maybe a little bit of a philosophy change for him, but 3 100-yard days and just no playoffs or, other bowl game action for him or Hawker, who was very low on the depth chart. And then Frederick Wayne wins best running back. So how about another award winner? And it's Frederick Wayne looking to see if he can get Texas into the playoffs. It's his 3rd try at it and taking on LSU. 17-14 is your score. Texas number 2 in the country. They got the first round bye, but can they finally go all the way this time? 3rd down and 3 is the situation for LSU. He's throwing, middle, caught, first down. I'm rooting for Frederick Wayne to get to a national championship. It'd be awesome. I think he has played up to that level in this season, being his best play as he's winning that award and seeing if he can help carry this Texas team all the way to the promised land. But right now, LSU threatening to tie this game, maybe even take the lead here as they get an open man, first down and a lot more as he's getting to the 11-yard line, 20-yard gain, now 3rd down and 3. Throw it out to the back, one man chasing him down, number 49, huge tackle to force the field goal try. Kick is good. We are all tied up with under 5 to play. Texas's offense gets a first down to start their drive. I think you really should be giving it to your star running back right now, but he's in the block once more. And a fumble! That's why you give it to your star! Quarterback loses the football. LSU takes over. And now they're in great field position, basically handing them a free field goal try at the very least. Under 3 to play. And 3rd down conversion. Sliding goal to go from the 9. Handing it off. He's spinning in. Touchdown. LSU on top. Now Texas, first play of their drive, again is going to throw outside as quarterback selling this season. Pick 6 for LSU. Come on. Wayne didn't even get to touch the football as they throw a pick 6. So the quarterback fumbles, throws a pick, and now down by 14 with 2 minutes to go. It might not be a storybook ending for Wayne like it was for these Miami running backs, as they're going to throw one up top. Deep ball, double coverage, incomplete. 3rd down and 1. And they'll finally end it to Wayne. Not going to get there. 4th down and 1. Game on the line here. And pass is going to be brought in. But, I mean, you're running out of time. You're running out of chances. Wayne breaking 2 tackles, gets 10. Texas, though, using timeouts as they'll throw middle, first down. But, like, you're relying on the onside kick now. And we know how unreliable that can be as they will throw an interception. Well, it doesn't even matter. This quarterback absolutely sold the season for Texas. And I also have to say the play calling did a little bit, too. You got a running back as talented as Frederick Wayne out there, and you barely gave him the football in a close game. 8 carries all day, 61 yards. Like, come on. Wayne ends up running for about 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns, add another 350 through the air, and 4 more touchdowns. Has a lot of massive performances against top-tier competition. Yeah, unfortunately, he goes to the NFL. I would have liked to see him stay another year. Ends up being a 4th-round pick, which is kind of crazy. Like, he could have been, if he stuck around, I mean, that's a 1st-round pick. That's a guy who's probably going to be 96 minimum. Jason East, though, back for his final season. Hawker
at Oklahoma. So we're at a point now where none of these running backs are really out and out starters except for Yeast, and we'll see if Oklahoma and some of these other teams eventually let these guys be starters. But Lowen here at Ohio State, star development, like what I'm seeing from him. But let's see, you know, the only guy we really have is Yeast. Kiki Baldonado, the next running back. Interesting that we've had Baldonado be a quarterback and a running back. We had Baldonado last episode for quarterbacks, but now we got a running back. Maybe that's his brother. Who knows? Yeah, all these other running backs, though, not much playing time, not much action for them. And when it comes to Houston, the only bowl game that was made was by Yeast, but it ends up being a dominant victory for Texas A&M. I mean, the final score was a 12-point win, but Houston put the ball in the end zone late, and there wasn't really much to watch between these two teams when it comes to looking at what Yeast was able to do. He ends up with a nice productive career, 3 1,000-yard seasons, a 16-touchdown year, a lot of production, like a lot of yards. Ultimately, though, not a lot of, I guess, team success or much opportunity to watch him. Hawker's an 89 overall. He's transferring. Yeast goes in the 6th round as well. So Hawker is one of the next players to check that box of, oh boy, he didn't go anywhere. Will he pop up? Will he not pop up? Baldonado, meanwhile, goes to Arkansas. So, yeah, I mean, Yeast ended up popping up. It took a year, but he popped up eventually. When it comes to Hawker, to be determined. Lowen is going to be looking pretty nice right now. I love the elusiveness and quickness duo. Baldonado will have an opportunity at Arkansas pretty soon if he decides to stick around. I don't think he'll be, you know, getting a lot of carries in year 1, but he should be a starter in no time. And then, you know, we looked for Hawker. He's not here. I mean, it would be hard to miss a guy who's an 89 overall and probably would have developed even further. So, like, he's just not around. We'll see, like I said, if he pops up, but I'm not counting on it. Take a look at what the guys did this year, though. Carlos Null in 2 years has just 10 carries to his name. Might transfer. Baldonado just 2 carries as a freshman. Ohio State, meanwhile, Lowen is sitting here at the number 11 spot, which is really unfortunate for him because he just missed out on the playoffs. Instead, he's going to have to deal with this being his season ender. Unfortunately, there was no real action to watch in this one. I spectated it, but Lowen didn't really touch the football all that much at the end. It was a dominant game, 31-13. The pick 6, though, to basically seal it. Lowen had 13 carries for 45 yards in the game, and he ends up with about 800 yards and 15 touchdowns. He wasn't like out and out dominant number 1 starter, more of a split back rotation. So he didn't have like a crazy season, but a lot of touchdowns. And he ends up transferring, which is interesting because it wasn't due to playing time. It was actually due to proximity to home, which is really interesting. I think that it's not just playing time like it is for a lot of these guys, but he ends up going to Georgia. Meanwhile, Null, predictably, ends up transferring. He goes to Notre Dame. And Cedric Drummond, our next back, he ends up actually going to Miami. Oh boy, are we having this happen again? Carlos Ronaldo looks really good. Lowen looks really good. Both of these guys should be seeing some significant potential reps, not only throughout the season, but you're expecting playoffs from them. Baldonado looking really nice as well. So it took us a few years to kind of reload a little bit to get these guys back out there as starters, but here we are now. Cedric Drummond, Miami running back, impact development. We'll see if he could reach the heights of the 2 monsters before him. But the next running back we have on the board, how about a new archetype out here? Backfield threat, finally something else. 80 catching and good juke and spin. Actually looks really nice for the skill set that he has. So it's nice to get a different archetype out there. And Carlos Null at Notre Dame ends up winning best running back. Cedric Drummond had 7 yards on 11 carries. Baldonado, 700 yards on 11 touchdowns. Solid season. Again, more of a split back situation for him, but no bowl game to speak of. As the defense, you've seen how many points they were allowing. I don't know what's going on with Arkansas's defense, but Notre Dame versus Alabama, the game right now, as this is actually pretty fun because Null transferred from Alabama to Notre Dame, wins best running back, and now he's getting to play Alabama in the playoffs as Null is going to run it for a 4-yard gain. 3rd down and 6, going for the end zone. Pass is not able to be brought in. 4th down and 6. They're going to check it out. No, touchdown. and scored against his former team to tie it up. And can Notre Dame get a little bit of revenge on behalf of Null as they get the football back from a 3 and out? Now Notre Dame's passing attack. That's Null sitting there like, hey, you wanted to give me 10 carries in 2 seasons? I'm going to go out here, win best running back at Notre Dame, then I'm going to beat you in the playoffs. Now setting up that field goal try for the lead. Notre Dame. Kick is good. And the Irish on top. Alabama with 4 minutes to play has a first down grab there. Catch and run for the 29-yard line. Bama to the air, and he's going to throw middle in route. First down, and he's got it 20 yards. About midfield, second down and 10. Wide open man underneath. He's going to get him about 9 yards. Third down and 1. Jet pass. First down. Big hit, but he hangs onto the football. 2-minute warning has come in on the run, and he's wide open. Touchdown, Bama. The sprint out pass finds an open man, and Notre Dame now needs to go and rely on the top back in the nation to go and get them down the field. He gets 9 yards on his first carry, and then another one, another big carry, and he's got 15. So 2 touches from Null and 2 nice runs. And now Notre Dame's quarterback gets sacked. Might as well just give it back to Null. Third down and 16. Floating one deep. That ball's a wobbler, and it wasn't a good one. Picked off. Notre Dame throws the pass. That was a terrible pass. That pass was just floated up there. It looked like a last year of Peyton Manning's career type of pass as Null runs for 79 yards. He had the receiving touchdown, but yeah, deserving best running back of the year, getting a grand total of 28 touchdowns through the air, on the ground, and adding on to its 7 100-yard performances. Now you jump to Alabama's next game because it's against the other running back that we have. Lowen was homesick. He went from Ohio State. He wanted to go back home to Georgia. He does just that, and Georgia's sitting here 13-0, number 1 seed. But Alabama's already taken out the top running back in the nation. And Elijah Merling, I will tell you, he is the Heisman winner, and he is showing why as he's running for a first down. Goal to go from the 3. He's breaking out of a sack. He's running in. Touchdown. Alabama's got the lead. 2-point conversion. QB draw into the end zone. It's good. And now Georgia down by a full 7 points, and they're going to have to scramble here. Breaking out of one. There you go. He can run too a little bit. We got 2 dual threat quarterbacks as now they'll hand it off to Lowen, and he's got the first down. And he's got some really good bursts to him. He's got 98 yards on just 9 carries. Hey, I'd say give him the football more if he's averaging double digits, but you're getting sacked instead. Third down and 16. He's into block as they throw it short, and that's not going to do much for you. You have to punt the football away. Third down and 5, though. Can't get off the field immediately, and you won't do it. Alabama's able to run a little bit more time. 3 minutes to go. Second down and 9. Tackle for loss. Third down and 11. Quick bubble screen. And the defense is going to get off the field. Probably get good field position. Yes, they will. They'll get it close to midfield. Second down and 5. As he immediately throws the pick. And Georgia out of timeouts. 2 minutes to play. That's basically going to be game with 1 play like that. Yeah, third down and inches. Try and stop the Heisman winning quarterback. He hands it off. He's not even going to keep the football. He'll end the game. Georgia goes down. So Heisman winning quarterback at Alabama goes and takes out both of our running backs, and no one gets anything from it. I mean, Lowen had a nice game. 98 yards on 9 carries and a touchdown. So I think you just could have given him the ball more. He runs for 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Overall, a more efficient season than he did at Ohio State, just less touchdowns. But nice year still, and he's a junior. We'll see if he sticks around. Maybe he will. No, he won't. He'll go to the draft, 4th round. I mean, it makes sense in a lot of cases. I mean, Null especially too, 2nd round projection for him. But you know how running backs work. You get a little bit of success. You go to the NFL because the NFL will find a spot for you. You don't want too much tread on the tires. You don't want to be a college running back who gets 800 carries because you got a lot of wear and tear on your body. You want to go to the NFL with as little carries on your resume as possible. I mean, there are so many running backs that get drafted that have like so little amount of carries throughout the entirety of their career, and they're just drafted based on their physical talents and the flashes that they show when they do carry the football. But Timmy Troop is also going to go to Alabama. We'll see if they also lose him. But I really like this guy for his skill set. I mean, he's the best receiving back that we might have had up until this point. He's one of them at least. Next back on the board too, Caleb Turbin, north-south receiver, so he can catch. He's got some decent athleticism to him, broken tackles, an 82. And we move on to the next season where we get to see that Cedric Drummond touches the football a little more. Not amazing still. And then Kiki Baldonado here at Arkansas. It's a pretty comfortable game for Arkansas, though. Look at the broken tackle, the juke move. 31-14, extend that lead. Arkansas, touchdown. One of those very dominant bowl games that didn't really have a whole lot of competitive action or need to really showcase anything. Baldonado ends up having a pretty nice game. I mean, just 10 carries, though. They were splitting the carries a lot. 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, though. Nice year, and, 5 more 100-yard games. So, I mean, typically you'll see a lot of these running backs get 5, 6, 700-yard games on a season. Timmy Troop is going to leave, and interestingly enough, he's going to go to Louisiana. I don't know what Louisiana's got going on there that it's attracting these running backs, but second running back of the video that's going to end up being a Raging Cajun. And it worked out great for the first guy, so maybe he looked at him and said, yeah, I want some of that. I think Louisiana uses their running backs quite a bit, so let's go for it. Why not? Round 2. And Timmy Troop, just like the last guy, ends up having a big development, and he's really good. Caleb Turbin, speaking of really good, 81 overall, elite development, and he is a freshman starter, just like Frederick Wayne. So we have another, generational type of running back here. And he wasn't even a gem. That's the crazy part. He wasn't a gem. What the heck would he have been if he was a gem? Cedric Drummond, as we go to the next season, still nothing special. He's still not a starter. But Louisiana, hey, look, you got another great running back in your ranks. Let's see if he can end up leading you to the same heights that the last guy did. Because, I mean, you went to the playoffs previously and had a 2-time best running back winner. Now you're sitting here 12-1 taking on an 8-5 Temple team. And you are losing right now, but let's see if you can get back into this one with the defense getting a stop. Nope, they're going to get themselves all the way inside the 20-yard line. Temple threatening to go up by 2 scores as they'll throw. Clean pocket, a lot of time, runs it ahead. First down, goal to go. Has now 5 yards out. Guy's going in motion. The running back, he's going all the way to the sidelines. He went out of bounds. I guess it worked. What a decoy. Touchdown. What kind of play call was that? They had the running back go to the sidelines. I guess. Sure. 21-12 is your score. Down by 2 possessions as that's going to be a fumble. Temple picks it up, and no, that's not good. As, eventually they get back the ball, but then they throw another pick. And, I was skipping around in this game because this one was one of those games where there just was not anything. Raging Cajuns end up putting up a field goal to cut it to a 1-score game, but, there was, no action here. Troop barely touched the football at all, and, there wasn't anything notable. But, I mean, he has a ridiculous season. I mean, 1,500 yards, 27 touchdowns, 300 more receiving yards. I mean, what is it at Louisiana? What do they do here? Because that is 10 100-yard games, and they just feed their running backs. Hey, if you are playing Road to Glory and you're sitting there saying, man, what small school can I go and get the football? I guess Louisiana's your answer, because what in the world? They attract good running backs and they give them the football. That's awesome. But, we go here to Kiki Baldonado's Arkansas bowl game. He already scores a touchdown to give them the lead. East Carolina down by 4 with 6 minutes to play. They're going to get a first down. And to the 30-yard line they go. Looking to take the lead here as they go play action. Throwing outside. Broken tackle. Stays in bounds. And he's gone. Touchdown. 30 yards out. And Baldonado and the Arkansas offense seeing if they can go and get another touchdown on the board. Baldonado gets 2. 3rd down and 3. He's out on the pattern. Teammate's going to catch one underneath and be just a couple of inches shy of the first. And now read option. Carolina outside, and it's going to be a first down. Now they're starting to maybe run this clock a little bit. You get a field goal here. Still a 1-score game, but you're allowing them to get a big play. 18 yards. 4 minutes to go. From the 42, intercepted Arkansas. You give yourself another chance in this one. And close to midfield, setting yourself up very nicely as Baldonado wasn't set up very nicely by his blocking there. Loses 2 yards. 3rd down and 12 the situation now as they'll throw to an open man. Tight end's got it, and he's down to the 18-yard line. That's huge. RPO is caught. Broken tackle. Touchdown. Arkansas with the lead. And now with just 2:20 to play. Defense, can you hold on for this one? As a lot of bad tackling going on right now. East Carolina's receivers spinning away from defenders. And it's going to be a sack now. 2-minute timeout is hit. And now with 1:50 to go. 3rd and 13. Swing it out. Yeah, you're going to lose 4 yards on the check down. 4th and 17. Game on the line here. As they'll throw middle. He caught that and broke through 2 defenders. What is the tackling for both of these teams right now? As ECU has got another big play down the middle. Red zone. 45 seconds to play. Outside. Caught. He gets out of bounds at least. They are out of timeouts, but it's 4th and 6. Game on the line. Sending pressure. He's throwing. He's got it. Catch and run. Out of bounds at the 3. 26 seconds to go. 3rd down. And is floating it. 1-on-1. Incomplete. 4th down and goal. Last chance for ECU. Throwing. Touchdown. And they take the lead. And with 1 play left, blowing it downfield on the Hail Mary. That's not going to really do anything for you. Game is over. And ECU comes up clutch with the victory. So Kiki's not going to get a bowl victory this year. Instead, he's just going to have to settle for his 2-touchdown game on 58 total yards on the ground. 18 touchdowns on the season, 1,100 rushing yards, and a pretty nice season to end his career. But ultimately not going to have a whole lot of team success throughout his career. Now, how about going to take on Toledo here? Clemson in the playoffs. Let's see what our other basically generational running back has to offer here. It's 35-21, so Toledo putting up a bit of a fight as they got the football, and they are in scoring range. And can they get into the end zone to cut this down to a 1-score game as he is getting pressured in? Just a little antsy in the pocket, doesn't really know how to handle it. 3rd down and 19. They check that thing down, and that's not really going to be all that close. So they're going to actually go for the field goal here. Still going to remain a 2-score game, but it will now be 11 points. But here we go with the offense out there. It's going to be a read option. Clemson's quarterback going to get a 15-yard game, but I want to see Turbin get the football now as they're going to throw outside. Open man, going to be caught for a gain of 8. 3rd down and 2 as they'll go draw. Turbin is going to get tackled 1-on-1 in the open field, and Toledo takes it back. So yeah, I guess they can get a field goal in this drive to cut it down to a 1-score game, but right now you're sitting there 3rd down and 15 as they are over the middle. 1st down grab. It is 4-down territory from here on out for the Rockets as they're going to get a 1st down grab again to the 43-yard line. And Clemson, I mean, not to say struggling, but Toledo's putting up a pretty good fight right now. 3rd down and 13. Outside, tipped up in the air, out of bounds it goes. 4th down, and this is maybe the last chance for Toledo. It's knocked away. And now Clemson can get into the offense and run out this clock. Maybe put some more points up on the board to seal it. Come on, give Turbin the football. They're going to throw it. And it will be wide open man, so I can't really blame them. 1st down after a juke move to the 27-yard line. Hand it off now. Turbin to the outside. And there goes Turbin all the way. Touchdown, Clemson. And the 3-score lead is going to be enough to seal this game, as Toledo did put the ball into the end zone at the very end. But Turbin, 3 touchdowns on the ground, 96 yards. And now taking on Ohio State. It's 20-16. And this run for Ohio State's going to get them the 1st down. So they already got the lead. They got the football in the red zone. From the 15, it is going to be stopped. 4th and inches. They're going for it. Big 4th down conversion. Incomplete. Clemson takes over. From their own 13, they're going to fire a strike for a gain of 13. 2nd down and 3 of the situation now. RPO. I'd like to see Turbin get the football a little bit more here in this 1-score game, though. Give him the football. There you go. Up the middle. And he's going to go down. It took like 3 to 4 guys to get hands on him. Gain of 7. Handoff again this time. Ohio State was ready for it. Loss of 3. 6 minutes to play. 3rd down and 6. As they go over the middle, it went to Turbin in like double coverage. I know he can catch, but My goodness, that's not the best situation to put him in as Ohio State takes over, and they get a first down with 5 to go. Now a little inverted veer, and they're going to get past midfield. The quarterback got some crazy acceleration as now 4.5 to go. 46-yard line, pass is caught, and they're back into field goal range. They went for it last time once they got close. Not going to happen this time around as they're going to get stopped. 4th down and 6, and yeah, you're going to be smart to take the field goal here. Full one-score game is going to be the deficit for this Clemson offense with 3 minutes to play. Now about immediately finding a first down grab, 63 yards out, 2nd down and 9, make it 62 yards out. Swing it outside. Turbin, not great blocking from the perimeter players. Didn't help him out all that much. 2-minute warning, screens blown up, 4th down and 12, and this one could be your game here. Passes incomplete. And 2-minute warning has hit. Ohio State, big run. I mean, it's already bad enough that they're getting timeouts burned and getting first downs, but now you get another one. That's going to be game. So unfortunate that Clemson doesn't get to go any further, and Turbin didn't really get to play a big factor in this game. But a big year from Turbin. He had 29 yards in the bowl game, but how about this odd season? 3.4 yards a carry is about as low as we've seen any of these running backs get, but 58 catches and 29 touchdowns. What in the world season did he just have? Freshman with 29 rushing touchdowns, also had 58 catches. Paul Lewis is the next running back. He goes to UCLA, but that's a wild season because it was horribly inefficient. 3.4 yards a carry is like the lowest we've seen for a guy with like 200 plus carries. But he had 29 touchdowns. It's like the ACC record. I mean, I don't know. It might have been. But Turbin, yeah, take a big jump up. You're looking like a beast now. 92 overall, all things considered. And he is so well-rounded. And the next running back, Paul Lewis, oh boy, we have a stinker contender here. Normal development. And not only normal development, his skill caps are awful. Like, he's awful. Oh boy, Paul Lewis. Yeah, I mean, generic name, generic looking dude, and he's not going to be all that good. Jaleel Kilgo, interestingly enough, next running back is from Hawaii. Hawaii putting out #1 overall prospect. Cedric Drummond, one of the rare players, full career as a backup. That's interesting. And then Paul Lewis gets a little bit of action. Louisiana back with Timmy Troop, seeing if he can get a bowl win over Kent State. 23-23 to score. So Louisiana not able to get to the playoffs like they did with their previous guy, but Timmy Troop is still putting up spectacular seasons. Louisiana is just, farming great statistical running back seasons throughout this video. As, I wouldn't have expected this school of all schools to have 2 of them come out here and have as much success as they have had. But a big play from Kent State, 6 minutes to go, read option, and he's going to slip through, get inside the 10-yard line, goal to go. So Kent State on to take the lead here. 3rd down and goal, we jump ahead. Quarterback makes a move, touchdown, Kent State. Now we move to Louisiana's possession with 4.5 to go. Read option, gets a block, gets through. He got slowed down a little bit, but he's still going to get a gain of about 11 yards on the play. 3rd down and 5 the situation. Now quick pass is going to be brought in. And now at midfield. Come on, give the ball to Troop. I want to see him run the football. As now they're going to get sacked. And the ball on the ground. Kent State scoops it, takes it all the way. Touchdown. Louisiana. Not a lot of success right now in the bowl games. Their offense outside of their superstar running back isn't really all that great. I'm not surprised by it, but a 4th down misfire is going to give Kent State the win. That's really disappointing that we didn't get to see Troop get a lot of touches, but, his college career, pretty dang effective. 100 yards, touchdown in the game, 96 overall by the end of his career, 1,700 yards, 21 touchdowns. Yeah, literally 2,000 total yards on the dot, and only one game the entire season in which he didn't have a 100-yard game. That is amazing consistency and amazing performance from him. I know maybe some of you will discount it because it's a, small school he's farming, but still, really impressive. 52-35 is the score right now in this game. Clemson, Florida State, Turbin's next playoff appearance. Let's see if he can get to a national championship this time around, as Florida State down by 17 with under 7 minutes to play. Needs a lot to go their way if they're going to win this one. They're not getting it there. 4th down turnover. Now we jump ahead. That pass is going to be incomplete. 4th down. Field goal try on its way. Score is 55-35, and the game is basically over. A high-scoring matchup. Seminoles did put up a touchdown, but ultimately did not matter, as you didn't really need to do a whole lot in this one. Turbin, 57 yards on a touchdown, so with all the touchdowns he scored, they managed to put up 55 points with him only scoring 1 touchdown. Now let's go into a game against Georgia, 27-21, and here goes this Clemson offense. Let's see if we get to have Turbin get some serious action in this one, as they'll throw outside, caught, first down, and past midfield they go. 3rd down and 3 the next situation, as they will give it to Turbin, and he's close, not quite. 4th down and 1 they go for. Come on, Turbin, up the middle. He didn't get much help. It's a turnover on downs, and Georgia's got the football back, and Turbin could be knocked out in the final 4. 4th and inches, though, for Georgia, and they punt it. That's big for the defense to get that stop. Now Clemson with the football back. Quarterback's going to scramble, and he's reaching out there. It's a little dangerous to reach for a first down that you already had in the bag, but hey, go for it. Why not? Look at that tackle out there. Oh, my goodness. He just absolutely clotheslined that dude and springs a first down carry on the read option. A lot of read option here, and I really would like you to give the football to your best player. As they swing it outside, he's reaching. That's a bit more of an appropriate reach. He's got the first down. How about a 3rd and 5 situation? Turbin into block. Pass outside over the head of everybody, incomplete. And on 4th and 5, they punt it. Now Georgia, they're in control with the 6-point lead. 3rd down and 1 situation, though. Can the defense force the 3 and out? Ball just slips out of his hands, and now Clemson takes over. 3 minutes to go as they'll throw for Turbin, but that's the exact wrong way to get him the football. Come on, of all the times where you try to get him the ball, you throw him a late check down, and the defense picks 6. Georgia, with 3 to go, has a 2-score lead. And now Clemson, you got a crazy comeback in you. 45-yard line, 2:40 to play. He's loading up. He winds up his whole arm for this throw. End zone, incomplete. 4th down and 9. Now your game on the line for real this time. It's going to be brought in, so you keep it going a little bit longer. Still got all your timeouts. 2-minute warning hasn't hit yet. Turbin on the screen. He's got room on the edge. Turbin past the 30, 20, 10, and just get him the football, and he'll lead you inside the 10-yard line. 3rd down and goal situation now as they go to Turbin. Touchdown, Clemson. And there you go. Get him the ball. Fortunately, you need a stop here, and it might be a little too late. Timeouts are being used. 3rd down situation. If you can get him down here, and you don't. Georgia gets the first down, and that is game. Clemson goes down, and a bad pick 6 is really what's going to be what costs them. 83 yards and a touchdown, 1 through the air, 1 on the ground. And look at Turbin, 1,000 yards, so a lot better efficiency, but still 26 touchdowns, 27 total. And even though he's not putting up a bunch of 100-yard games, I mean, talk about a dude who knows how to find the end zone. Is that some sort of a record? What is that, 55 touchdowns in his first 2 years? Oh my goodness. Troop goes in the 1st round. He didn't need to stay in college all that long. Jaleel Kilgo goes to Boise State, so that's Boise's 2nd running back that they've been able to bring in. And oh my goodness, we got something crazy here. Turbin goes up 7 overalls, meaning he is a 99 overall running back. And this dude could pass as a power back, a speed back, a receiving back. He could play wide receiver if he wants to. He's that talented. He is insane. And I guess we conflict that with, like, the worst running back we have, because Paul Lewis jumped up 1 overall. He's awful. So Paul Lewis is like the worst running back we've had, but Turbin, he might be the best running back, or at least the most talented. We'll see if he is able to have that final season be that year that puts him over the top as maybe the best performing running back. But I mean, we've had some good ones already. Turbin makes the playoffs undefeated, wins best running back of the season. Oh boy, he's coming for that national championship, and he's coming for all the records. Let's see what he's got here in the playoffs, taking on Georgia once again. Looking for some redemption. 24-17 is your score as they will throw. Turbin into block. That pass is going to be brought in. 4th down and 3 the situation, though. They'll punt it as Georgia down by 7. So Clemson this time is the one in charge in the lead. And we'll see if their defense can help them out here as that pass going to be blown up. 3rd down and 9 the situation as he'll throw outside. Caught. past midfield. We got about 5.5 minutes to play. 3rd down and 4 the situation now. Pass is short, right at the line, 4th and 1. They're going for it. Big conversion here. Pass is brought in. Will Clemson be able to just get rid of this Georgia team as they get a screen? And the stiff arm not going to be able to work. 3rd down and 4. Trying to get over this Bulldog team. He breaks out of 2 sacks, throws it away. That's still impressive that he even threw that football away. 4th down and 4, and it's going to be caught. This team cannot stop this Georgia squad. Don't lose to him again. Run up the middle for the tie. 3rd down and 2 from the 3-yard line. Pass is going to be a scramble and in. Georgia ties it. Oh my goodness, please do not lose to them again. No, don't end Turbin's career like this, because there's no way he's staying for another season. 2-minute warning has hit. Turbin, he's been a great blocker today. As they're scrambling, he's going to go down to 2nd and 1. As Turbin is, well, he's not blocking this time, but he's going to watch his other receiver get a completion to the 40-yard line. As now to the air once more, wide open outside. There you go, field goal range. Now you can run the football. There goes Turbin. He's not going to go far though. 3rd down and 2. Give it to him again. Turbin 1st down, and he's going to get past the 25 to the 24-yard line. Run it one more time. Turbin breaks a tackle. Run out this clock. Kick a game-winning field goal as time is ticking down. Clemson 14-0. And they're going to the Final Four again. And they finally got over Georgia. Now let's see if they can get to the national championship. Turbin runs for a touchdown. Big shocker. He gets a touchdown. It feels like every single game. Taking on Miami here. This one, it's all Clemson. Domination, 41-17. Miami not able to put the football in the end zone. And it's just dominant. Clemson's going to the national championship, and they maintain their undefeated season behind their 99 overall running back as Turbin this time around against Miami. 2 more touchdowns. I mean, seriously, at this point, is he about to break some records for most all-time touchdowns? I don't know how many he's got at this point. We'll see afterwards. But taking on USC, it's 14-1 versus 15-0. 17-16 the score. Clemson on top with the football, and 9 minutes to play. Turbin with the carry. He's going to make a cut inside, but that's a nice wrap-up tackle. 3rd down and 5 as they'll throw. Middle, it's intercepted over the head of the receiver. Off-target throw, and USC takes over. Now with the 1-point deficit, and they have the football in great field position. They're going to be set up with 3rd down and 2 from the 46. Handoff. He's outside. He's making a move, but he's not going to get there. Huge stop, but they're going to go for it on 4th and inches. Bold call, and I like it, and he's got it. USC's been the one with the good run game today. Their running back's out over 150. Their quarterback just scrambled for that 1st down, but he's losing yards on the sack. Play action. 3rd down and 15. Throwing it deep. 1-on-1. It's caught. At the 3, goal to go. USC can take the lead, and they will. Touchdown. USC on 23-17. Curious they didn't go for 2. They're comfortable with the 6-point lead, and it's 3rd and 14 already for Clemson. And they're going to get hit. Not going to get anywhere with that, but that's an impressive juke move to at least get them 9 yards. They will still punt the football, though. And the running back for USC, I mean, he's the one having the big day today. He's up over now like maybe 160 yards with another carry. Quarterback's going to get the 1st down. I don't know about that spot. Don't love that one. 2:30 to play. Now they're going to throw for the 1st down. And you got to wonder, is Clemson even going to touch the football again? 1 timeout. 2:20 to play. Scramble slides down. Last timeout. 1 1st down will end it. And that's going to do it. 1st down. And you run out this clock. I mean, game clock is pretty even. They're going to basically kick a field goal as time expires, which is a 2-score lead anyway. So that's going to be game. Turbin not able to win a national championship, but I don't think that's the story we can cover here, because the story that we're about to cover with what his career turned out to be is one that is historic. He gets 2 more touchdowns in the national championship to go with a 32 touchdown season. And if you're wondering, what does that all add up to? How many touchdowns is that in his career, his 3-year career? That is 87, which is crazy, because if you know, the career record for rushing touchdowns in college football is Keenan Reynolds. 88. He came 1 touchdown shy of the all-time record. 1. And I guess Keenan Reynolds was a quarterback, and he also did play 4 years. So if you want to say, hey, he did his in 3 years and he was a running back, then sure. But 87 touchdowns in 3 years is absurd. But yeah, I mean, not able to capitalize it with a national championship. Obviously, though, 99 overall, first-round draft pick, all the accolades to him. Spectacular season, spectacular player, and I don't know how we're going to be able to top these guys that we've gotten. Paul Lewis definitely ain't doing it because he's the worst running back. Jaleel Kilgo sitting here on 87 overall, but he can't even see the field because of how stacked Boise State's backfield is. And everybody's transferring now. Paul Lewis is transferring. The guy we just got is just transferring. Kilgo's transferring. Everybody's transferring. So we'll see where they go. Kilgo, he ends up signing nowhere. That's unfortunate. And how about somehow, someway again, a Louisiana running back? Louisiana got another one. I don't know what, I mean, I can't blame these guys because they're putting up big numbers at Louisiana, but my goodness, a third back for them. I also forgot to show you the next running back. He went to Auburn. He is a star development. Umodu? I don't know. I'm trying to pronounce these the best that I can, but he goes to Auburn. He's got a big backfield of guys ahead of him, so we'll see if he ends up sticking around, but he actually looks like he can have a nice bit of skills to him with the unlimited quickness, unlimited elusiveness. But this is a situation where Kilgo, this is not him. This is a different Kilgo. He didn't pop up, but while Kilgo didn't pop up, unfortunately, Paul Lewis did, and oh, do you look at that? He went to Miami of Ohio, and he jumped up 1 overall again. This dude is genuinely the worst running back we have had. And because it's not like last year where they just get cut because they stink, he just keeps popping up, and he won't leave, and now he's a starter, I guess, so good for him. Casey Priest, the second to last running back we have in this video. It looks pretty all right, but he is a 4-star, which is interesting. That's our first 4-star. And then, yeah, Amodu is going to end up transferring. Paul Lewis, shocker, doesn't have a great season, doesn't get drafted, and Miami of Ohio does nothing. Amodu, he does end up going somewhere. I will tell you that. He doesn't sign initially, but he does end up somewhere. Casey Priest goes to Nebraska. So we have another Louisiana running back here, and we'll see if he can hit the heights of the last two. And then, yeah, Amodu goes to Arkansas State. So it's weird. Like, some of them pop up, but Kilgo didn't pop up. Kilgo never popped up, but Yeast popped up earlier. Amodu popped up. Lewis popped up. So it's weird. Sometimes they pop up, sometimes they don't. I just don't get how that works sometimes, especially with a guy like Kilgo, who was an 87 overall. Even though he had never played, he was an 87 overall. You would think he would want to go somewhere, or someone would want him. And Paul Lewis, meanwhile, is a 78 overall who stinks, but somebody got him. So it's weird how that works. But yeah, last running back, Eric Titus, looks pretty nice. Casey Priest ends up at Nebraska with 4 carries in his first season. And while Amodu did make a bowl game, this was one that was also one of those kind of more uneventful bowl games. And I guess the stakes between Arkansas State, Western Michigan, not crazy high. It just ends on a game-winning field goal. But it was one of those games where they just kept trading punts back and forth and back and forth, and it was just really nothing. And he had 1.7 yards a carry, so he didn't really do much either. He ends up overall, though, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, nice season. 4 fumbles, not great, but adding on to that, a couple of big 100-yard performances, good. And Louisiana, no, this one, I guess, didn't go their way. He's transferring, and he's going to go, well, staying in state to Louisiana Tech. So he went from Tulane to Louisiana Tech. So never leaving the state, but and maybe he'll finally get some playing time. He maxed out his quickness, so good on him. And the final running back of the video does end up committing to BYU. So from here on out, we'll get to finish these guys' careers up and see how everything formulates itself, and we can add any late contenders for, you know, that feature at the end of the video where we go and, you know, showcase the best of the best. And Eric Titus might have a chance because the last running back saving an elite for last at BYU, and we'll see if he stays at BYU. I mean, BYU is one of those schools where it's like, sometimes they're good, but not all the time, and maybe he'll transfer for a better opportunity. Now, Louisiana Tech's guy over here ran for right at 1,000 yards, no bowl game, though. But some of the crazy seasons we've seen, a season where, you know, Louisiana Tech running back barely hits the 1,000-yard mark isn't something to go crazy about. Amodu does have a bit of a regression year, under 1,000 yards, and his team played pretty poorly. But let's go to Casey Priest, who is a starter now, taking on Baylor in a bowl game. So it's 28-28. Priest and Titus are the last two running backs that maybe we have a chance at getting something like really big from them. I don't think we're going to get anything from Arkansas State and Louisiana Tech's backs. You know, maybe I'm speaking too soon on that, but that's just my assumption here. But Casey Priest, a bit of the underdog in this video. 4-star running back, and we'll see if he can rise up past these 5-star guys. As you know, it's just a weak year for running backs that year, but hey, he could still be great. 7 minutes to play here in a 28-28 game as Baylor's going to get the sack. Loss of 11. Now drop it to 3rd down and 19. And a long ways to go. He's going to get a completion, but not even going to get anywhere close to the 1st down. So they'll try a field goal with under 6 to go. Kick is good. It's been a close, nice scoring, 31-28. And Baylor over the middle. That's going to be a 1st down completion. As now 37-yard line, 3rd down 11 the situation. The quarterback's, the way he flings that football, he puts his whole body into these throws. My goodness. Look how he threw the football as he's throwing over the middle again. And that's going to be a 1st down to the 24-yard line. So, hey, it's working for him as he's going to scramble. He's going to take it himself, and he's got the first, breaking a tackle. Into the 11-yard line he goes. 2nd down and 10 the situation. Tackle for loss. And now 3rd down and 12. Run, broken tackle, and he makes a move. Touchdown, Baylor. Nebraska takes back over with 2:30 to play, and they go to a screen pass, and that's going to be a juke move, breaking a tackle, and there he goes. Another broken tackle. He can't go down. And what a play from Priest. As they get him to the 47-yard line, pass is going to be caught for a gain of 9, but it's going to set up 4th down and 1. Big situation and a conversion through the air. Now you got to go 34 more yards. Play action to Priest, but he's sacked. Loses 5, 3rd down and 15. To the air. He'll throw it deep, and it is going to be knocked away. 4th and 15 with a minute to go. Game on the line. He's going to go over the middle, and he's converting. This Nebraska offense won't back down, and now 30 seconds to play. You got 2nd down and 1, 9-yard line. Now down to 18 seconds. He's going to run, and he gets rid of it. That's good that he got rid of it to save time, but now 14 seconds to go. 4th and 1. It's caught, and touchdown, Nebraska, as they are going to get the game-winning touchdown with just a couple of seconds to go. And that play from Priest, it was a bit of a setup play for what that drive ended up becoming, but 3 broken tackles was really impressive there. 860 yards, 7 touchdowns, also another 250 through the air. So, you know, definitely didn't get the ball like a crazy amount, you know, more so split back, but nice job on the season. Now we go to BYU. Eric Titus, elite development, the final running back of the video, and we'll see if he can have a big career to close things out. He's had a good game so far, and right now they're winning by 10 over Tennessee, and with a 4th down try, that's going to be a field goal. Could be 13 points, and it will be, so the kick is good. Now Tennessee got a 13-point deficit with 7 minutes to play, and they're throwing that football up, and it's brought in. What a grab. Looked like the defender had better positioning on it, but the receiver just jumped over his head. As now Tennessee got to the 21-yard line, threatening to go and get that touchdown to make it a 1-score game. He's not going to get the 1st down. 4th and 2 situation now. Pass is going to knock it off in time. He's sacked. BYU with the football back, and they can go and wrap this game up, but they're going to go 3 and out, so at least they took some time off the clock. But Tennessee, 2.5 to go, all their timeouts, 1st down, and to the 45-yard line, 2:18 to play, as they'll pick up the block on the running back, and he's going to get a 1st down completion of the 32-yard line. Now we're past the 2-minute warning, as they'll throw down the middle, caught inside the 10, spin move, down to the 2, and with 1st and goal, they're going to be able to hand the football off, punch it in for a touchdown. Still need to get the onside kick, though, because they did end up using a timeout, which is a little ill-advised, but it's going to be scooped up by BYU, which is going to end the game. So BYU 43-27, victory, and Titus ends up with 80 yards on 12 carries, so a really efficient, really effective day. And for his freshman season, 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. I love seeing these freshman starters, though he did fumble the football 5 times, so I got to clean that up. But 2 100-yard games, and now moving on to the next season where I got Louisiana Tech's running back still sitting here. Really fast, that's about it. Same thing with Amodu. It's interesting that both these running backs have kind of gone down the same path of just max out the quickness, but because of that, with how expensive quickness is when it comes to skill points, not able to fill out the rest of your skill set. So interesting balance that they got to kind of figure out there. One of the reasons I do like the more randomized skill upgrades where you can't just control the player. Sometimes you get players that are fast, sometimes you get players that are maybe a bit more technically sound and more talented in that regard. So back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for him, but no bowl appearances. I mean, playing at Louisiana Tech isn't gonna get you all that much success, but decent level career for him, 2 years. And Imodu not going to get into a bowl game either, but 2 1,000-yard seasons to his resume. And, you know, solid production throughout his career and a bunch of 100-yard games. Good on him. Struggled against Michigan, though. Played a top opponent and didn't really do all that well. So let's jump into the bowl action because we have Priest and Titus once more. These are the final 2 running backs of the video, and they're getting into some bowl action. BYU, number 15 in the country, so really jumped up, and it's 24-23 right now, your score. And it's going to be a completion 4th down situation. They punt it away. Now handoff. Titus is going to get stopped for a gain of 1, but he's had a pretty solid game so far. We'll see if he can vault this BYU team into a bowl victory for the 2nd straight year as they're going to get stopped on 3rd down. Jump over to Washington State, who has the ball and a 1st down completion. Tough one to bring in, but he does. As the 1-point deficit with 3:30 to play. Pass is going to be caught, and into enemy territory they go. Handing it off. Up the middle, room, broken tackle, and into field goal range. So there you go. You get to take the lead here. You can run out this clock. Flag is down, but that's a touchdown pass. And I think this flag's on BYU. They're going to call pass interference. So how about a pass interference, and he still brought it in for a touchdown. Interestingly, Washington doesn't go for the 2-point conversion to make it a full 7-point game, and BYU can take the win here if they score, as they'll throw it down the field, caught, and he goes all the way. Touchdown, BYU. It didn't take them very long, and Washington State not go for the 2-point conversion might cost you here, but you still have 44 seconds to go from the 48-yard line, and you're getting in enemy territory, so no timeouts, but just another 1st down. You're in field goal range, but you throw a pick. BYU's going to win the game. Not going for 2 costed you. And a win for the Cougars. 2 bowl victories for Titus. 2 touchdowns on the game for Titus. A much improved year as well. How about upping the yards per carry by a full yard on basically identical carries? 15 touchdowns as well. So Titus, I mean, he could be in contention to be one of those running backs who's just 3 years in his school and he's out of there if he gets a big jump. Now, Nebraska kind of fell off a little bit record-wise. 6-6 is the situation for them, and they're taking on Louisiana. And for once, we're watching a Louisiana game where they don't have a number 1 rated running back on their team. They had 3 throughout this video, but not this time in this game. We're focusing on Priest and his 6-6 Nebraska team. That pass floated outside. That was a bad one. 4th down and 7 for the tie. Kick on its way. It is good. And we are all tied up. 6 minutes to play as that's going to be a stop in the backfield. 3 and out for Louisiana. And taking over is Nebraska. Priest on the swing. He's going to get tackled for a loss of 4. I mean, the way Nebraska uses Priest is interesting because you'll see with his stats once again that, like, they don't run the football with him all that much. They like throwing him the ball, though. As Louisiana, speaking of throwing the football, that pass deep, double coverage incomplete. And another 3 and outs, though. Nebraska able to force 2 3 and outs. Here goes Priest to the edge. He's reaching the football out. That's so unnecessary, but he's going to get the 1st down in a big run. 41-yard line. Go back to Priest, and he will have them probably in field goal range here. 3rd down and 7. As they'll throw over the middle, caught, and now the 20-yard line, and they start to run this clock out. Go to Priest, stiff arm. Priest has got a 10-yard gain to the 10-yard line. Throwing from 1st and 10. Score for Nebraska. And now Louisiana after the final chance to try to win this game as they're going to get hit as he's throwing. 3rd down again. They go 3 and out, but this time they got to go for it. Will it be a 4 and out? Yes, it will. And the game, considering they take over with a 7-point lead in enemy territory. Priest, another big run, and Priest inside the 10 to the 8-yard line and going for the win. Pass is caught, touchdown. And the 2-score lead with under 2 to go is going to end things. So Nebraska takes care of business in the fourth quarter, meaning we are going to see, I think, maybe one more year. I think we're going to be on to the final year of this video. So Priest, once again, 800 yards, 15 touchdowns, 31 catches. They're not giving him the football a lot. Like, under 200 carries is the out-and-out starter back-to-back years. And this is going to be one of the rare instances where it's like, yeah, you know what? Fair. Transfer. I mean, he was been the starting running back. He's a 91 overall. Now, Eric Titus is also going to transfer, which is interesting. He's transferring due to pro potential. The other two running backs, Louisiana Tech, Arkansas State, neither one get drafted. But, yeah, you're a 91 overall running back. You want to get the football. He gets under 200 carries both years. He's going to be going to Oregon. And for Eric Titus, hey, he's going to Louisville. And the thing about Louisville in this game, one, they're coming off a national championship just this past year. And two, Louisville's been like a powerhouse. Louisville does really good in sims. Like, that's something I have noticed so far early on this year. But Titus is looking really good. And the reason I think this is the final year, I think Titus is going to the NFL. And we got playoff action. We're going to have a pretty eventful final year as Titus wins best running back. Casey Priest comes 9th. And both of them are in the playoffs. So how about a final year to end things off in a big way? 17-17 is the score here. Oregon and Georgia, both these running backs on their brand new teams, looking to see if they can close out with a national title. So far in this video, only national titles we've had on the board come from the University of Miami. We've had other guys go, but they haven't been able to get the job done. As Georgia's throwing that football deep, it's incomplete. 4th down and 7. The situation, they punt it away. Priest on the play action. They check it down to him, and Priest is going to get 3 on the play. That's now 3rd down and 5. He's going to step up and throw the football deep in the snow. It's going to be incomplete. Oregon is going to be out on defense now as Georgia, they're throwing a contested pass, and that's going to be brought in. I feel like the degree of difficulty in the snow makes catches like that a lot more impressive. And look at that play. Hey, that's what happens when you start flinging passes in the snow. It goes flying into a defender's hands and intercepted by Oregon. That's an unfortunate one for Georgia, but that was a dangerous pass that you're just throwing a pass that dangerous, that short. I mean, you're not even getting many yards if you complete that one. So you don't love to see that if you're a Georgia fan, but you're loving it if you're Oregon, as you're at the 29-yard line now with 2.5 to go and a sweep to Priest. He's going to run through a defender, get a first down, and now in the red zone they go. 2:27 to play. They'll go quick slant route, caught, and he's in. Touchdown, Oregon. And the lead for the Ducks as Georgia's trying to come back the other way and get that touchdown to equal things. 24-17 the score as Georgia unable to run away from pressure. He's sacked. And now 1:18 to go. And they're throwing over the middle. They're going to get a lot of those yards and almost get the first down. 3rd down and 4 from 2nd and 21 to 3rd and 4. But throwing an interception to lose the game. Georgia down to 1 timeout, not able to bring down Oregon and stop the clock to get the football back. And the Ducks win it at home. And moving on to the next round, Priest, 76 yards at a touchdown. Nice performance from him. He's up to a 94 overall right now. And Louisville, meanwhile, is taking on Florida State in a 2nd-round matchup. They got a 1st-round bye. And, you know, Titus, you're transferring to the defending national champion. So expectations are pretty high, and he's going to be the guy who they hope to lean on. I mean, he's already won Best Running Back of the Year, so we're going to see if he can lead them to a back-to-back national championship season as Titus reaching, and it's going to cause him to fumble the football. Florida State picks it up. That is a dangerous reach, and that's the price you pay sometimes when you go for a first down. Now, thankfully, you get a 3 and out. You get a lot of help. Titus is wanting to make up for it. He gets a screen pass. He's going to get himself about 8. 3rd down and 2 the situation. Quick pass to the outside. He's going to reach for 4th and inches. Going to go for the field goal, and the kick for the lead is good. Would have loved to get that first down, though. 4 minutes to play in a 1-point game. Louisville blowing up that play. 3:40 to go now. Throwing it deep. Florida State. A lot of defenders down there. That's basically like a punt. You threw it up and there were 3 Louisville defenders to pick that one off. Still, though, they put it in the end zone. It's a 1-score game. It would be an 8-point game. And Titus wants to make sure that that happens. What a run from Titus. The blocking was phenomenal there to spring in for 20. As now at the 15-yard line. 3rd down and 11. It is he's throwing incomplete. Florida State down 2 timeouts. Field goal, though, from Louisville is good, and it will be 33-29. So Florida State still has a chance, but they're getting pressure and they're getting sacked. 2-minute warning, 3rd down and 11. You give the football back to Louisville, it's over, especially if you're getting sacked again. 4th and 17, game on the line. He's just not even going to have a chance at that one. Way short, game over. Louisville moves on. And now we jump over to Oregon as Titus has a 102-yard game and a touchdown. Some big runs from him. We jump to Oregon, 20-18 your score. 8 minutes to go against Penn State. Oregon wins this game. We get a Louisville, Oregon guaranteed national championship appearance from one of these two backs. So can they fulfill that and give us an even bigger year to end things off on as Priest gets blown up, lost 2 yards. 3rd down and 11 the situation as they'll throw it outside. And short of the line, Penn State will have the football and will have the lead still. 13-0, number 1 ranked in the country. They're like that for a reason. But can Oregon pull off what would be an upset as Penn State floating it downfield over the head of everybody? Oregon takes over after the punt, and Priest can't get out of the backfield. Loss of 3. 3rd down and 13. And they'll go outside and just like the last 3rd down, kind of just concede possession. Penn State, I mean, maybe playing for field position battle right now because you only need a field goal, so you get a stop here, be good field position, and they will get the stop. Pass was high. Yeah, so you got it at the 31-yard line. It was actually a pretty good punt for Penn State, but slant route's going to get them 10, 3rd down and inches. 2-minute warning about a hit as they'll go outside, incomplete 4th and inches. Yeah, good to go for it here. They're giving it to Priest, and Priest with the conversion. Huge conversion. 1:50 to go, and that pass is going to be caught for a gain of 5. Maybe another 10 to 15 yards for a field goal, and they're going to have an incomplete 4th down, game on the line. Priest picks up a block and finds an open receiver. Oregon in a field goal range, and now it's Penn State having to use timeouts as now it's Oregon in control. 1st down here, and they can run out the rest of this clock. Priest not able to get it, but they'll run out most of the clock. 30 seconds to play. Field goal is good. And it will be Penn State with 17 seconds to go. He's getting brought down, sacked, 4th and 3, but you need to go a long way. 74 yards of field in front of you, hurrying it back to the line, and he'll throw it. Game on the line, it's caught, but he's not going to be able to get down in time. You're out of timeouts. Like, yeah, cool, you got the 1st down, but 2 seconds isn't going to be enough, and this game is over. Oregon going to the semifinals. We get Priest versus Titus. Big semifinals matchup as Priest goes and scores a touchdown. Not overall a crazy productive game, but 14-17 now as we are early in this 4th quarter. Titus versus Priest. Final 2 running backs. Potentially final season. The kicker got absolutely blasted on that field goal, but it's good. Oh my goodness. How did he take that and still hit it? As that is going to be a tipped ball intercepted. What in the world? Defensive lineman interceptions. We love to see those. Defensive lineman gets a pick in hands. Oregon the football in great field position. 3rd down and 10 though, with a chance to get a field goal. It's going to be a 4th down, so it will be the field goal. At the very least, they'll have the lead. And just like that, in 1 minute, they're going to get 2 field goals on the board, and they will have the lead. Titus, meanwhile, 1st down carry. Both running backs were playing pretty well. Titus only 8 carries, though, as it's been Louisville doing it through the air. And now they'll drop the throw. 3rd down and 4. Quarterback's going to keep it. Quarterback's got the 1st down. And we are down to under 5 to play. Quick RPO the outside. And it's going to be stopped for a loss of 1. We'll be in field goal range, though. Kick on its way. It's good. Louisville, 20-20 your score. Priest on the carry. Priest loses 4. 2nd and 14. Screen to Priest. And Priest gets those yards back and more. And he's breaking tackles. He's got the 1st down. He's so hard to bring down. As they'll go back to Priest. Can he lead this Oregon team to a national championship? He's over 100 yards on the day. They're going to fake it to him. And a 1st down grab off the broken tackle. And Oregon, with 2 minutes to play, is right on the fringe of field goal range. They'll throw it down the middle. Intercepted Louisville. A potentially season-ending mistake. A solid return. And maybe 20 yards the other way for Louisville. They want it all on one play. And he got it. Oregon! Can't believe what they're seeing right now. Louisville scrambling inside the 5 to the 3. 40 seconds to go. Oregon out of timeouts. Play action. Flip it to Titus. And Titus, first touchdown in the game, is going to give him the lead. Now Oregon just under 30 seconds to go. And that interception might be actually what cost them. 4th down. Game on the line. He gets it, but you're basically in a spot where it's just a Hail Mary. You got to go 57 yards if you can even get the snap off. 2 seconds. 1. He gets the snap off. And he's not even going to get into the end zone. It's caught way, way short. Game over. And Oregon was just on the fringe of field goal range. Threw a pick. And Louisville in one play flips the field and then gets a touchdown. Titus ends up scoring the game winner. He had less rushing yards, but a really good day nonetheless on just his 10 carries. Casey Priest, I mean, he proved to be right. He kept the same exact average and upped his carries exponentially. It was literally just a usage problem for him. 10 100-yard games. You use him as much as he wanted to be used, and he put up the same exact yards per carry on way higher volume. Just really impressive. Now in the national championship, last game of the video, 10-6 is your score. Ohio State threatening to go up by 2 scores. They'll throw outside, and he's caught it. He's down to the 1. 3rd down and goal. Can they get the big stop? He dives in. Touchdown. Louisville's offense has not had a good one today. It's 17-6, and Titus breaking a tackle, gets a block, breaks another tackle. Look at Titus for a nice run. He's had a pretty good day. I mean, it doesn't feel like they're running the football a crazy amount with him, but I guess you can in this situation. 4th and 13. This might be your game on the line, but they're going to keep it alive. You need at least a field goal to keep this a game, as a 2nd down and 5 pass is going to be caught for a 1st down into enemy territory. So maybe 10 yards off of field goal range, but you want that touchdown first, and they're going for it all. He's got a step. He's got it. Louisville puts up the points that they need, and they gave themselves plenty of time. 2-point conversion's good as well. All your timeouts in 3.5 minutes. That's plenty of time. You just got to get a stop, and you can't be letting Ohio State's quarterback run for 15 yards like that. Another read option. Quarterback keeper again, and another solid gain, and another 1st down. You got to key in on the quarterback. 3rd down and 7. Louisville down to 1 timeout. He's going to keep it. He's got it again. And now one more 1st down does it for good. As that pass caught, will set up 3rd down and 8. Ohio State 1st down for the win. He's not going to come close. He'll only get 1. But we'll be able to run this clock down to 40 seconds though. Kick the field goal to make it a touchdown game. It is good. Louisville, it's your last chance. 23 seconds to get a national championship on the board. Nice start there. You're going to be able to get back to the line. Spike the football if you want to. You got to go 61 yards. They'll get back there, and they'll lose about 4 seconds to spike it. Now you're going to drop and throw, obviously. Got to take a shot down the field, but you can't get sacked. And that might do it. Back to the line. 7-6. You're going to be able to get the spike off. But you got to go 68 yards, and 4th and 17, pass is short, and you're not going to be able to do it. Time runs out. Game is over. Ohio State National Championship. And even though a number of running backs had chances in the national title game, we only got to see the Miami boys do it. So I'm kind of unfortunate in that regard. Eric Titus, 5.5 yards a carry in the title game. And how about a 1,900-yard season on a ridiculous amount of touches? Is that the most touches any of the running backs have gotten? He got about 400 touches on the entire season. He's going to the NFL. No surprise. And he'll get drafted in the 3rd round. Priest as well will get drafted. Him being a 95 overall, he goes in the 1st round. That will put a wrap on things. You can check out all the national champions and Heisman winners. And we will get into the final section, all the stat tracking, all the stuff that really went into the over 20 hours of recording for this video. And I hope you guys have liked it up until this point, you know, for how long these videos take, well over 20 hours of recording, and then all the other editing and stuff that goes into it. So, please show all the support that you can if you want to see more stuff like this. But let's get into the final statistics and the results to see all the crazy players that we had. So we start things off, obviously, with the location, where these players came from. And, 3 places really dominated: Georgia, California, Texas. Georgia had 5 of the running backs California had 4, Texas had 4. The only other states that had multiple, Alabama and Louisiana, had 2. And then you've seen Tennessee, Colorado, Florida, Arizona, Mississippi, Hawaii, Washington, and Illinois. So Hawaii is a really interesting one. I don't think in any video last year Hawaii popped up. So it's cool to see, you know, like the odd, unique places get a number 1 player. What I found to be really interesting is just the lack of busts and gems that we got. 3 of the backs were gems, so that's just 12%. And only 2 were busts, that's 8%. And even the 2 that were busts weren't really like the worst running backs. They were fine. And the gems were obviously, you know, great. They're gem running backs, cool and all. But the worst running backs we got were the ones that weren't either. And most of them were that. But I mean, also, like, the best running back we got wasn't a gem. The best running back we got was an 81 overall elite development. He wasn't a gem. So weird how that works. It was really random. But 5 of the 25 were elite. 10 of the 25 were stars. 8 of them were impacts, and 2 normal developments. So pretty spread out, and a lot of wealth of talent. And even then, we only had 1 running back, Paul Lewis, who was just outwardly like a complete dumpster fire, and he was one of the normal ones. The other normal development running back wasn't that bad. Then we get to the always fun development path. It felt a little pointless to include like a year 5, but I did just in case. Only like 3 or 4 running backs even made it to a redshirt senior season, so felt pretty pointless. I mean, most of the running backs were out of there in 4 years, but on average, 77.8 is what the you know, average freshman will be. Low is 74, as high as 81 though. But you get to year 2, on average, you get maybe like a 6 overall development. Year 3, I mean, when you get to year 3, 87.5, those are legit players right there. Those are starters. Those are, you know, guys who are going to be maybe a year away from the NFL. And we had some guys like Paul Lewis, who was the lowest year 2 and the lowest year 3, really tanked that. But I mean, you could see year 3 is when some of these running backs really peaked. The best guys that you got were like true juniors or redshirt sophomores. 99 overall was Turbin. Year 4, though, you get to a redshirt junior season or a true senior. Still, you get really good stuff. If the running back makes it to year 5, then they're pretty much in this kind of closed gap of high 80s, low 90s, because if they were higher, they would have went to the NFL. But if you stay in college that long at that talented of a running back, you're going to eventually get pretty usable and pretty good. So interesting how it works once you get later into your career, because you wouldn't be there if you were too good to be in college. You'd just go to the NFL. Biggest 1 year jump, we got a plus 12, which, I mean, I think compared to quarterbacks, last episode was a plus 11, so nice to see. And despite Turbin being the highest rated freshman that we had, he still took the biggest career jump, plus 18, as going up to a 99 overall. Pretty obvious to see why he was able to get that top rating. I mean, from highest rated freshman, 81 overall elite, all the way up to 99, just incredible. And then Paul Lewis was the biggest stinker that I have had in one of these videos. He was so bad. It went up 3 overalls throughout his entire career. What a bum. You get to the overall ladder, and the highest highs weren't really reached as much with the running backs compared to quarterbacks, which was really interesting. Most of the running backs hit 85, 86, 87. When you go up to 89, though, it goes to 15. And then when you jump to 92, 10. And then once you get to 93 plus, I mean, only 1 running back ever even hit 95. Turbin hit 99, but he was the only running back to even get to 95 plus, you know, throughout the development in the season. Now, guys like Priest ended up throughout his career, like his final season, he developed enough to get to 95, but this is taking into account like the base overalls going into the season, not really factoring in coach boosts and other things that you get throughout the year. This is just their stock overall at the start of the season. So the fact that Turbin hit 99 and only 2 other running backs even hit 94 in stock, like Turbin's such an outlier to the rest of these guys. And maybe, like, I don't want to say I got a bad batch because we got some crazy good running backs, but it's like, it really feels like to get a 95 plus running back, you get something that's a really special player, because very quickly they'll bolt to the NFL if they get to 92, 93 overall. And if you get one that jumps that high that quickly, like, hey, feed him, cherish him while you have him, because he'll be gone in a year and he's going to dominate for you while you have him. Seeing where the running backs fared in terms of the NFL draft, I thought this was really interesting too, because in real life, you see so many running backs go in day 3. And I guess this is where something that the game has to scale a little bit better is we only had 1 of the running backs go in day 3, which Again, maybe, 25 isn't the end-all be-all sample size, but I think it's, that's basically every number one running back that you'll get throughout an entire dynasty. I think the numbers of second, third, fourth rounders, that lines up. That makes sense. A lot of first rounders, some of them deserved it. Some of them maybe wouldn't be traditionally first rounders in real life, but I felt like a lot of these guys that went undrafted maybe could have slid into the 6th or 7th round. And considering 10 of them went undrafted, it's a lot. It was more than the quarterbacks. Really interesting that so many went undrafted, but like we had some really high-end players too. 6 first rounders is really high compared to what you'd get in real life. And for those of you wanting to see what they were able to accomplish in their career, 10 of the running backs made a playoff game, 7 of them were able to win a playoff game. Higher than the quarterbacks is that roughly half of them did stay at one school, which is interesting to see because running back backfields are so crowded. You would think that those guys would be hopping from school to school, but maybe getting 300 yards or getting 100 touches on a season satisfies them a little bit when it comes to playing time. A little over half of the running backs also had multiple 1,000-yard seasons, but when you up that number to 3 seasons of 1,000 plus yards, 5 of them had it. And you can determine how much you really care about the overall statistics because some guys were 1-year players that were able to go in, win the award, go to the NFL, or they got 2 years as a starter and then they will go to the NFL. So to have 3 1,000-yard seasons, some guys just didn't get the opportunity to do that. Now we go to overall yards, 3,000 career rushing yards in their career. Majority of the running backs did that. You up that to 4,000 though. Just 4 running backs had 4,000 career yards. Touchdowns though came in bunches. 40 plus rushing touchdowns in their career. Almost half the running backs did that. And I thought, which was really impressive, 6 different running backs won the Walker Award. 6 of them, a quarter of the running backs basically, were the best running back in the nation in a season, which is amazing. And for one of our guys, Prather, he won 2 back-to-back. So, 7 total awards between them. Almost done here, but seeing what these players look like from an architect standpoint, 11 of them east-west playmakers, 8 of them contact seekers. Contact seekers were very heavy in the first third of the video, then it started to balance out a little bit. North-south receiver had 4. We only had 1 backfield threat and 1 elusive bruiser. I feel like elusive bruiser would be a really cool archetype to get a top guy at. We only got 1 of them. But here is the overall averages of what these players' ratings will be. So this is what you can, expect to see when you're scouting these top running backs. 89 speed roughly is the average, as high as 94, as low as 84. About 92 excel, and you may even get a guy who has some elite level excel, 94. Awareness, it's pretty standard across the board, I would imagine. We've seen this in quarterbacks, seen it in running backs, we'll probably see it in positions. 60 to 70. If you see a guy with 70s in the mid 70s, maybe even high, you're probably looking at some generational level awareness. Carrying, you get a range due to the archetypes, but 81 on average, 77 break tackle. You get change of direction in 84. Surprisingly, the highest change of direction we got was 90, so not anything absurd there. Juke move, 77. Spin move, 72. The highest we've seen, low to mid 80s on both of those. Ball carrier vision. You see a guy with 80 ball carrier vision, and you start celebrating. That's pretty dang good. And then catching was obviously, I think to no surprise, the widest range of outcomes because you get guys who are, contact seekers who maybe aren't the best hands. And then you get the backfield threats and the north-south receivers that are really good. 85 catching, though, was the highest we've seen, but you also get it as low as 52. But you kind of know what to expect with the catching when you get certain archetypes going. But a really interesting range of positional ratings. I was interested that not a lot of the players I felt had that many elite traits. Like there wasn't any 96, 97 speeds. There weren't any, crazy juke and spin moves. Not anyone with 93 change of direction. So maybe then that would be considered, generational, but I felt like 81 overall, elite development and Turban, you can consider that pretty generational. But I would like to see some of those ratings go real crazy if you have found players like that. You can let me know. 25 is a lot, but maybe you guys have found somebody that has one of these crazy skill ceilings at day 1 freshman player. Have you found somebody with 97 speed? Have you found somebody with 95 change of direction or 90 spin move or something? That'd be really cool to see. And then you get to the final section of this video, the best of the best. And I didn't simply just go with who had the most yards or whatever, because the best players don't always just get the most stats or whatever the case is. I think these were in my opinion, maybe the 5 best running backs that we got. And these were all the guys that were really high overalls, really great prospects, really productive, really successful. We start at the top, Jaron Prather. I mean, among the yardage that he got, definitely lower. I mean, we had some guys with 4,000 yards in his career. He had 2,900 rushing yards. Also, though, for a guy who started 2 seasons, about as good of a receiving production as you're going to get, 900 yards in 2 years as a starter. But he was the only running back to get 2 Walker Awards back-to-back. So really impressive there. And it's not like it was a talent issue thing either. Like, he wasn't as talented as some of these other guys. 94 is like a top 5 back that we got. 94 is really high. 2 1,000-yard seasons, 11 100-yard games, and helped really change everything at Louisiana. Only lost 2 games at Louisiana, one of them being to Ohio State in a playoff game. So for a 2-time award winner and a program changer, he gets the nod there. Then you get to the Miami duo, which I think was my favorite part of the video. Emmanuel Boodle. I mean, not like a top tier 95, 94 overall guy, 92, and didn't have, I guess, the crazy yards per carry that some of these other guys had. Didn't have like a 6 yards per carry. Some of these running backs even had seasons where they were like 6.5, but 874 carries, 4,500 yards roughly. Touchdowns were a lot lower, 33, but he had a lot of them stolen from Quincy Roche. But I mean, national championship victory, game-winning touchdown in the national championship, 3 1,000-yard seasons, 22 100-yard games, which was the most of any running back, and just was spectacular to watch. I felt like even though he wasn't as talented as some of these other running backs, when we watched him, he just made plays. Quincy Roche was amazing, and once he got the chance to be the starter and really broke through development-wise, had like a 1,900-yard season as a starter. Just the 1,000-yard season since he was a backup to Boodle, but 14 100-yard games, 50 touchdowns, and was spectacular. Also went on to win 2 national championships because he won one after Boodle left. Frederick Wayne, I know he was just a 90 overall, but 80 overall, came in, elite development, was starter off the bat, 3 1,000-yard seasons, 16 100-yard games, and just was the most productive receiver as well with 10 touchdowns. No one had more receiving touchdowns than him with 10, which you can determine if you think that's like impressive or not, but he was just really good when we watched him, and he got to start so early on in his career and then left for the NFL so quickly. It's like, man, if he was maybe a backup in his first year and then, you know, got to play from redshirt freshman to redshirt junior season, what would he have looked like? How much better would he would have been? He just bolted to the NFL the first chance that he got, but he was really good. And then Caleb Turbin. Yeah, it's just incredible. How about 81 overall as a freshman starter off the bat, elite development, grew to a 99 overall, and even though his first season was horribly inefficient with the amount of yards per carry that like was lacking, it was like 3.4 yards a carry, it was like 26 touchdowns as a freshman or something. It was 29 touchdowns as a freshman, 26 as a sophomore, and like 32 or something like that as a junior. He almost broke the record for most touchdowns in a career. He had 87 touchdowns. Keenan Reynolds' record is 88. He had 87 touchdowns in 3 seasons and was a 99 overall. He also was the most productive receiver when it came to yards, 1,200 yards receiving as well. He had more catches and more receiving yards than any of the running backs in this video as well. So I love that both these videos so far has given us some like heavy hitter, like insane players. He had Jamil Deer in the last video. I don't know who you're taking, Caleb Turbin or Jamil Deer. Who do you think was better? You can let me know down below, but I think my favorite running back was Emmanuel Boodle. He was just a lot of fun. You guys can let me know who your favorite running back was, and maybe somebody got snubbed from this list. There was a lot of good running backs, a lot of good ones, a lot of productive guys, a lot of really game-changing players, so a lot of fun ones. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, as all that stuff would be so helpful with the amount of time these videos take, and I will see you guys all in the next one.